The worst thing about a woman is that they really don't need a man. They are better at coping being alone than 99% of men. In fact, they love being alone. There's nothing a female loves more than a night in with their dog or cat eating ice cream watching TikTok. Women love nothing more than being worshipped and left alone, and the digital age gives this to them precisely. I think whatever kind of sadness they have is performative at best and delusion at its worst. If they are sad at all, it's crocodile tears, meant to generate even more worship while giving them nothing back in return. You can see this in countless TikTok or YouTube channels that Stacey or Becky tier women complaining about how they have no friends or feel like a loser, when they have millions of simps in the comments section begging for their affection. But they don't want a man's affection. Even Chad is just another lay. They want, even more than Chad himself, is worship. Without responsibility, without accountability, without an iota of lifting a finger like they give a damn about anyone else than themselves. You're dropping black pill nukes, bro. Femoids don't need us. They love their solo nights in with their dog, ice cream and TikTok, while betas would rope in a week. They crave simp worship. Orbiters calling them queen in the comments, but get nothing back. Those lonely TikTok tears? Fake as hell. Just more bait for clout. They don't even want Chad's smash. They want endless, no-strings validation. Stacey's and Becky's play this rigged game, milking attention from incels and normies without a shred of accountability. Brutal. I hate women. I hope my whore mother gets raped and beaten to fuck. I hope my dumbass mum walks down the wrong alley and gets jumped by a crowd of men and fucking raped and beaten to near death. She's a super far leftist, anti-male, pro-abortion, blue hair whore, single mum too, raising my bastard spawn self. She deserves to get beaten and brought close to death. I hate her. She hates all men and is a hyper-feminist. Fuck that bitch. I volunteer to rape your mum if that's okay with you. She's as ugly as me and fat. She sounds like an insufferable cunt. Must be fucking hell having a mother like that. Voids don't cope with loneliness well, certainly not anywhere close to how well men do. Voids and men, whoever it may be, after a whole day of socialisation, of course the first thing you seek is some solitude. They don't even need a Chad. Chad is just dessert for them. Women, voids, can simple fuck man after man, getting all the excitement of new love with all the benefits of a relationship. They also have more friends and get all sorts of government benefits. Don't worry, eventually Europe will be fully patriarchal again. The average woman weighs 170 pounds and at 5'4". Overweight, swollen land masses. Anime girls have proper and healthy body weights, thus their bodies are massively more attractive than that of the American woman. So anymore, whenever I feel the need to rub one out, I find myself drawn more to animated or drawn depictions of women created by the Japanese than I do some random, disgusting, fat internet whore. Although there is a few harlots online who have healthy and attractive bodies, I avoid them because one almost feels like a cuckold masturbating to a woman they can't have. Voids are bad enough, but the Jews are way worse. Women wouldn't even be the way they are now without them. Don't let the Jews win by gooning to some Japanese cartoon porn. Never surrender. Yes, but ultimately it does not matter. The only realistic form of sex for ugly subhumans, aside from masturbation, is escort maxing. You cannot escort max with anime women, unfortunately, but you can with the average American woman. I lost attraction to the average woman and find them annoying due to my hentai consumption. Anime girls are by far more attractive than all women, let alone American voids most of the time, especially given that American voids are land whales. Water, but still a pretty interesting read. There's genuinely no reason as towards why the government refuses to include abortions within crime statistics whilst talking about murder, since it falls right into the definition of it. Good post, 100% accurate. Voids and shaboons in general are degenerates. Yep, you'll never see attractive women in shitty positions very long because life always works out for them. It's difficult to fail when all of society pampers you and loves you. I want to skin this whore alive and dump her body in fluoro anti-minon acid, whatever that is. What she fails to realise is that she's a factory for short humans and deserves to die without pregnancy for the exact same reason and more that she's sexually selecting against. What I do have a problem with is those cunts below 5'5" feeling entitled to tall men, while they should be content with a man who's 3 to 4 inches taller than they are. Homeless Indigenous foyed with her dumb child on the street yesterday. So yesterday, I went with my family to a bakery because it was the birthday of a cousin who was visiting us, and he wanted cake. Outside the bakery shop, there was a homeless foyed that looked Indigenous and had her child with her. They were sitting on the street outside the bakery shop begging for money. She was a single mother because there was no father around. I didn't want to look at those disgusting scum humans, so I ignored them while entering the bakery. After leaving the bakery, as I did walk past her for a moment, I heard some words from her which were not understandable. I don't know if she was even speaking Spanish, probably speaking some R-word Indigenous language. I was honestly thinking of punching this fucking Indigenous void to teach her a lesson to learn to speak well at least, and because she is definitely a fucking whore who got impregnated by an Indigenous Chad and had her disgusting human child. Indigenous people in Mexico are like fucking N-words, where there is no father around. This bitch probably comes from Guatemala or southern state, and she's fucking here in my city because she didn't make good choices in her life, and single mothers deserve to be beaten for their bad choices. I would have also liked to perform a late-term abortion on her disgusting child because Indigenous people need to stop reproducing for good. I went back to the car with my family and I tried to keep my view away from these homeless R-words. I wanted to laugh with the intrusive thoughts I had inside, but I didn't because my family would call me heartless and shit. And if you ask me, this void was not even rapeable. She was a shit skin getting old. I'm really tired of homeless people begging for money, and I wish it was legal to punch homeless people. While I suffer here of inceldom, homeless people feel entitled to money from everyone. I would have offered 5 pesos to fuck her. Not worth it. Her pussy must smell like shit. Did you offer to give her a $20 for a blowjob? She was too ugly for me to even dare to make that offer. You could have at least asked her to pay you $100 for a blowjob. Don't give money to voids, give them dick. I saw a woman doing cartwheels in a skirt. I saw her panties. She had very light blue panties. It was a cute, light-skinned woman with long dark hair and a white skirt who looked to be in her early 20s. She was with her friends. I'm so fucking horny now. How could they rob me of this? I got a hit at least once. Rape her. I once tried to go for a blonde, blue-eyed Stacy to slam her butt down with monkey power dick. Got rated a fucking 4 out of 10 instead. Oh, how naive I was. I don't know what I thought was going to come of that. She was an objective 10 out of 10 blonde Giga Stacy. I still tried with her anyways because I said fuck it and I was so horny. Went well until I asked her to rate my face, and she rated me a 4 out of 10. At least she let me down easy. Fat girls and 18 to 19-year-olds usually have the meanest rejections from my experience. All an N-word wants to do is breed a high-tier white woman. God damn, I just need one. Lock down an insecure fatty, then make her lose weight. You shouldn't touch white females. One time when I was 17, a fucking white teenage bitch dared to double-cross me, so I threatened to kill and grape her in GTA. I had messaged this one white girl a year younger than me at the time because I was trying to find girls to e-date with but would fail every time. This one girl strung me along and pretended that she liked me at first, but then she revealed that she didn't and called me an ugly-ass creep, then showed me pics of her with her tall white blonde boyfriend. This is when my hatred of tall white moggers really started to begin. I got very angry. I told her I would hold her down and rape her in front of her boyfriend while he's tied up like a sad cuck crying. He will cry knowing that his sweet pride and joy is being violated right before his very eyes, and there is nothing he would be able to do to stop me as I am too powerful. If he was stronger than me, then I'd have gotten his guard down to knock him out with a very hard object to tie him up anyways. That white mogger will be destroyed. I'd tie him up, I'd break his arms and legs with a hammer, making them feel like jello. And then, all the precious moments him and his girlfriend shared. The fancy dates, the romantic nights at the beach, the amusement parks, the festivals. All out the door as my semen covers his precious sweet pea of a girlfriend's face, and I've filled her every hole. My very essence all over her smooth, delicate skin. Then once I finished my feast, I would gleefully kill both of them painfully and slowly. Afterwards, after I filled his once sweet girlfriend's every hole, I dominated her and ruined her. And I licked the farts out of her butt. I own her in every way possible. I taste what she had for dinner. After that, she then called me a bozo, and then she tried to report me. Then she blocked me. All that typing just for her to send a 3-word message and block you. This is why texting voids threatening stuff doesn't work. You have to actually rape and beat these voids. I want to shoot up Netflix studio. Fucking whores. To sum it up, it's one of those gay-ass dating shows, but the whores match with the chads who pump and dump them. Stupid fucking void worker in a library. Was study selling and doing assignments in the library. Then when I'm leaving, the exit door is broken for some reason, so you have to leave through the entrance door. This is the first time that's happened. But the N-word door is automatic and it isn't opening. I try to push it, nothing happens. Then one of the male library workers nicely says to me, "Oh, you have to click the button behind you." Then whilst I'm turning around, I hear an annoying void voice say, "Turn around." And she said it in a way that frustrated me and made it sound like I should have obviously known. I quickly found the button. I said, "Okay, yeah," loudly, and smashed it, making a loud noise. Then cleared my throat loudly to show my anger at this fucking bitch whore. I bet she felt super intelligent and clever and powerful after she tried to make me look stupid. Fuck you, you fucking whore. I will show you, all void sluts, you are powerless to me. No greater humiliation than a void seeing you as some special needs child. I know the feels with cunty female library workers. I hate fat women like this. Stupid bitch. I hope someone gives her a reason to never smile again. Beat her to a pulp and see if she's still smiling then. Would rape, but I prefer Lauren Phillips. I've jerked off many times to Lauren. My mum is cucking me. So my mum is pissed off at me when it's late at night and I fuck my doll. She gets annoyed because when I'm fucking her, you know that sound when you stir mac and cheese? It was like that, but three times louder, and my mum tells me I don't want to hear that shit. It's not my fault her pussy sounds like mac and cheese. Even if I go slow, it still sounds like mac and cheese, so she's cucking me from my fucking doll. I hope my new doll, it's coming Monday, unboxing video soon, doesn't make that mac and cheese noise, because that would ruin it. Fuck your doll in front of her. When she barges in my room sometimes, she sees me fuck, and I just don't stop, especially when I'm about to bust. I'm definitely not stopping now. My sex doll showers more than me. Title: Since I only shower once every week or two, that means my sex doll showers far more often than me. I use that doll 2 to 4 times a day, so I have to clean it every day. This video will make you hate women even more. Teens bragging about their whore achievements. Season 1, Episode 3 of The Last of Us features 2 men kissing on the lips. I'm done with this horrible show. Girls in yoga pants are indecent in public. Why the fuck you showing off your ass and punani, her bitch? Yet N-words hate on me for sagging. Make it make sense. The fuck? No modern woman can give birth to 10 children. A lot of them are infertile in their 20s due to being overweight or some other disease. It always starts with dykes. There's a reason the L is the first letter in the satanic alphabet. Daily reminder that all women are a bisexual mess and that they'll increasingly date each other over dating a sub-Chad. Lesing tolerance is extremely R-worded and worse than F-worded tolerance. It's literally what radical feminists want. Any woman can go gay if she hates men enough. And in fact, the number of women dating each other has been increasing by a lot. Meanwhile, R worded something will say that it's hot. She's a solid 6.5 face-wise, but if I was a horny 8th grader, I imagine my lust would pour out of me like something. She also seems to be a hippie commie, so yuck, but would hate fuck. Would sexually harass the ultra-liberal right out of her with my cock. Women's rights will be revoked for another 1,000 years. Modern men have clearly seen what letting them off the leash leads to. Any les apologist should be raped. Women carpet munching each other is degenerate. More like a T word. Female brains just don't work like that. They don't understand the logic. He's right though. Women love those things. They just don't like being the target of them. Don't forget, women are solipsistic by nature. It's only a problem when it affects them personally. Saving women from their own stupidity. Also, who cares if someone deepfakes you? Be a man and take the shitpost like Asmongold does, lol. Disgusting, but proves once again human women are all evil whore pigs and no one can be trusted. Women have no idea what they want. Why don't we have kill on-site orders for women? Rape is beautiful. Hoping that they get raped for clout, probably. Women should ask themselves why they are exploitable, whether it is by men, by commercials, or their inhuman psyche, because these guys are feeding off themselves by the help of your inhumane psyche. I've got lots of female attention in real life from lots of very attractive women, but online just sucks. If you're not part of the top 15%, then you'll have to majorly bat down to get anyone to respond, and if you are part of the top 15%, you can have a grand old time having a little harem and ruining it for the rest of us as you create lots of alpha widows. This woman is in big trouble when she ages. Hubby will put up with her craziness for now, but men don't put up with you after aging. She still has nice skin and youth. Well, you know what they said, behind every toxic man, there's a very toxic woman. He's telling the truth about a man making a woman a good woman. Women don't give a fuck about monogamy, family, God, or relationships. They just want a glamorous lifestyle. And that's fine, but that's all they want. Top G is right. Most men are invisible. Modern women are just not wife material. Men should judge women by their looks. Most of them have no depth. So the way they look, the facade, generally indicates everything you need to know about her. Tattoos, makeup, obesity, fake nails, plastic surgery, fake eyelashes, all equal empty. Women admitted to liking being abused. That's why women don't like nice guys. Women aren't normal. Men are normal, which is why women aren't normal. Women are the exact opposite of men, so since men are normal, women aren't normal. One time, a guy abused his girlfriend and broke up with her. She cried and found a nice guy to date. She was talking to her best friend at home and her boyfriend was leaving for work, and he left his keys and went back inside the house, and he heard her saying that she'd rather be with the boyfriend that abused her than with the nice boyfriend, right? When and there he knew women were not normal. Most women, we want a perfect guy in every way. Also women, every woman is perfect in her own special way, and you guys should be more accepting. Also women, they create unrealistic body types of women in video games, aka Stellar Blade. That's why women should only be in the kitchen, not out speaking their minds. Women are reduced to nothing without their holes, especially singers. Think Britney Spears, Shakira, Beyonce, Ice Spice, Sabrina Carpenter, Billie Eilish, blah blah. Their music is dog shit, but let's entertain the notion that some people sincerely find it enjoyable. One look at these dirty whores concerts will show you what their selling point is. It's definitely not their singing or improv ability. Ass and tits and ass and tits and ass and tits. You can see their talent truly shine through their twerking skills and sex positions, not gonna lie. I'm baffled anyone is R-worded enough to listen to the raunchy garbage these bitches produce. So much for feminism, so much for not viewing bitches as objects. My plan to accidentally fall onto a girl on the subway. My genius plan was to pretend to trip when the subway jerked in the direction. My genius plan was to pretend to trip when the subway jerked, fall in the direction of a hot milf void and fall on her big mummy tits. Step 1. Wait for train lurch. 2. Trip gracefully. Step 3. I get to face plant straight into those big mummy milkers, goon to it afterwards. Gambler's ruin incoming. I've personally had good experiences recently at buses. It's good because they shake and all that. You could just be chilling there doing nothing and getting voids pressing their asses and boobs at you. I deserve a sex slave. Yes, I am brown. Yes, I am short. Yes, I am ugly. Yes, I am a gooner. Yes, I am unemployed. Yes, I only deserve a 5'3" blonde slut with tits who is willing to be my slave. Same. Vagina belongs to me. All men do. Should have been the 11th commandment. Seizing a void needs even greater self-control and self-discipline to not be punished by tyrannical laws. I stopped a woman from getting raped today. I'm so glad I have self-control. A good void is a dead void. Is there any list of voids killed by incels over the years? Society expecting us to have sympathy for voids is illogical. It's really weird. If I was killed tomorrow, no void would give a fuck, but when a void is raped or killed, people have an expectation of me to have sympathy for her. It's fucking illogical. Why, as an incel, you shouldn't give a fuck when a void gets beaten by her boyfriend? Void's pussy got wet when they witnessed a normie bully you. If they get beaten, killed by their boyfriend, it serves them right. She probably likes being abused by Chad. A woman could leave at any time and be with an ugly nice guy instead, but that's not what women want. They want the attractive men at all costs. They would rather be with a toxic, abusive Chad than an ugly nice guy. They have no excuses, zero sympathy of them. They have dozens of possible choices, yet they go for the abusive, good-looking man. Pregnant women are some of the most entitled whores on the planet. They have the audacity to expect me to give up my seat on the bus just because she got cream-pied by a Chad. Sorry, bitch, you're not entitled to anything, especially when you spread your legs to anyone but me. Why would we ever help a pregnant void when she gate-kept sex from subhumans like me and let Chad have sweet, unprotected sex in her pussy? She should be grateful no one unleashes their incel rage on her and give her a free abortion instead of acting like an entitled bitch. Couldn't agree more. However, it's not even just pregnant women, it's all women you're expected to be a gentleman, open doors for women. And to win an argument or anything, they'll say your behaviour is ungentlemanlike. And I cannot say, be a lady and spread those legs. Domesticate and enslave women. If she liked you, she would fuck you. Voids only associate with men for 2 reasons. Number 1, to fuck, date, marry you, or to exploit you. If a void is not going to fuck you, just stop even talking to her. She is only going to exploit you for your resources, whether that be money, free rides, chores, etc. Of course, we all know this as black-pilled incels. But there are some subhumans who don't know when to quit. They are just happy to be even talking to a void. Most of us are not that fortunate. Most of us could not get a void to have a conversation with us, ever. So he thinks he's lucky, but the dark abyss awaits him. His freedom and dignity he will give up to be her slave, ATM, and protect her. And in the end, she will fuck Chad after Chad, but never him. In a way, I am glad that I am so subhuman that voids will never even try to exploit me. If she really finds you to be an interesting person, she would willingly lick your balls and allow you to come all over her face. Talking to voids is honestly such a waste of time. I tried chatting online to some without revealing my face, obviously, and it got so boring and tiring after a short period. I don't know, perhaps I'm a volcel, but I hate talking to voids even when they don't treat me like a subhuman. Yeah, and some people here think I'm a voice hell. How could I be a volcel if the bitches only want my money? They say, but you can fuck her and dump her. That's pure fantasy. To do that, you have to invest time, money, and emotions, and there's no 100% success rate of fucking her. You're better fucking an escort at that point. A woman who likes you, she will fuck you without hesitation. If she likes you, she will think about your cum on her face, about your dick in her mouth, and so on. Bitches like to get dirty with men they like. The quality of sex is real. If she gives you standard sex, let's say 1 time a week with basic sex position, that means that you're beta buxing. If she fucks you every day, then she likes you. The thing is, if you don't make her pussy wet, it's over for you. Women are horny all the time because their pussy can have multiple orgasms, but men can't. It's a myth that men are hornier than women. Women want to fuck all the time, 3 times a day. If she doesn't fuck you frequently, she's using you for your money. Women are the master of manipulation. She will tell you the same words that she will tell to an attractive, handsome guy just so she can gain access to your wallet. If she sees that you don't give up your wallet so easily, probably if you are rich, she will give you a standard, basic starfish sex. At that point, it's better to fuck off and fuck an escort or something, because you waste too much money and time on that woman who only wants your downfall. A lot of women want you dead if you don't make their pussy wet. That's why a lot of people get married, make a kid, and after they divorce and get child support. That's the most beta way to fuck up your life. For women, kids are nothing but tools to get money out of your pocket or to get dick down every day by Chad, so she can experience orgasm and pleasure. That is the harsh truth. If you don't believe me, why is there a pro-abortion movement? That movement is big as fuck, and in the old times, a lot of women killed and dumped their babies without remorse. There is so much evidence on the internet, you just have to search, because I'm too lazy to provide links. OGs know what I'm talking about. I think there is also evidence on this site, just type abortion. Anyway, the thing is, women are parasites. They use you and they discard you later. Even Chads get that, after their looks fade away. They end up in a divorce and miserable. I hope they off themselves. It's over. Foids don't have souls. What does anybody expect? Never believe a foid when she claims she was raped. I never believe a foid when she claims she was raped. They have too much to gain from lying, and too many simps and other foids instantly believe them. It's funny that in a society, if a foid says she's raped and you say you don't believe her, you'll be attacked. If a sub 5 looks at a foid wrong, she will claim she was sexually assaulted, and foids are childish and their claims should never be taken seriously. Rape her, but for real this time. They only complain because an ugly guy did it. Even if she was raped, she deserved it. I would just ignore it and won't give a fuck. No special treatment. If some bitch ever claims I raped her, well, I didn't. I will fucking murder that bitch. It isn't rape if it's a Chad. I don't believe them, and even if they prove they were, I don't care nor have empathy. Your body was built to be penetrated and find it pleasurable. Cry me a river. Most foids who claim to have been raped are just whores who had consensual sex and regretted it. Most rape is merely consensual sex they regret after. Females always lie, and even if they don't, they are still wrong. 99% of the time it's just whores regretting having consensual sex and wanting to ruin someone's life. He should be allowed to rape her for real. No, I think if she claims he raped her, he should be allowed to actually rape her. I truly believe they have no emotions and are just made to make babies. They're so fucking stupid it's R-worded. I mean, if it's a false accusation, the guy might as well make it into a not-so-fake accusation. Anytime a woman speaks out against a man, she should be punched in the face until unconscious. Why should some low IQ babbling foidlet be allowed to disrespect a man by criticising or disagreeing with something he says? We really think the foid chimp is going to have better logic than a male? It's actually disrespectful for a woman to believe their poorly functioning little foid craniums could outperform a male brain. It's an insult to men for a foid to disagree. It's like a dog speaking up against a man. We really think the dog has better ideas and higher inhibition than a man? Even suggesting such a thing implies you believe the man is mentally disabled. And if a woman insults a man in such a blatant way, she faces physical consequences. Just the same way a man would face physical consequences for calling another man R-worded to his face. Except the man can fight back after he insults someone. The Foid needs to lay back and take the beating. What else can the Foid do? If the Foid tries to fight back, it will just anger the man more and make beating her even more long and more brutal. Knock the Foid's teeth out, jam a fork into her eye socket and then kick her in both her knees. Then when she's laying there crying, stomp on her face until her nose is completely broken and dangling off her face. Based, there's no need to hear femoid ramblings. Nothing important comes out of their whore mouths. Only evil and R-wordation comes out of their mouth. Foids need to earn the right to speak. Despite how much a fellow man has wronged you, a woman is always worse. Men didn't control women, they choose to fail. Don't let looks fool you, boys. She can look trad AF, but her history can be 30 plus dicks. Some Foids are good at pretending to be pure. I used to know a girl like that. All Foids look like whores to me. You'd still fuck her regardless. You can tell this bitch has an insufferable personality by her stupid toddler overalls and ugly ass Etsy jewellery. That and the fact she's female. She looks okay on the surface, but I assume the bitch is a whore. A quick change of outfits and now she's a slut. She's a fucking whore. She looks like a trad whore. Stupid white whore hated my hoodie. I was walking home from doing a food shop and crossing the road. This white blonde slag in a white summer dress and flip-flops was crossing too and walking towards me. While she was passing me, she was looking at my hoodie and she had a disgusting, sour look on her face. I was wearing this, by the way. Also, because I'm not a F-word who's trying to appease gay leftists, I was wearing black suit trousers too. I mumbled "fuck you" when I walked past her, but I don't think she heard me. I should have spat at her instead. I also saw a T-word too when I was out. He was wearing Foid clothing, but he wasn't wearing any makeup or some shit, but his hair was longish. Fuck the UK, I want it nuked and turned into a giant scorch mark. It's 'cause women are whores. And because they have been given the rights to do whatever the fuck they want. This user is a registered sex offender. Death to all underage whores. Women owe me sex. What's the point of non-virgin women? I can't take a non-virgin Foid seriously at all because I know she spread her legs open to get her brains fucked out by Chad. How can they expect us to treat them with any sort of respect when they don't even have respect for themselves, as evident with how they lie there like a piece of meat and let Chad use her holes and body like a literal cum toilet? Just be first. Theory holds strong and makes it so no one can replace the first person that took her virginity. So in an ideal world, in the kingdom of Incelistan, all non-virgin Foids should be gassed and removed immediately because why are they still here using up oxygen when they've already been used up by Chad? Virginity is the only value a woman has. Telegony kills any value a non-virgin woman could ever have, and I wish we went back to virgin standpoint society once had. Maybe we would have had a chance at love. What pisses me off is when they reject you and say it's because of not wanting to date because Chad abused her, but then goes to another Chad. Straight men only go to therapy to get better at manipulating women. Which goes to show you that women just want to be manipulated. Women like the idea that they sent their bad boy Chad to therapy so they could fix him, but they chose him all along. He had the genetics first. You see, Chad is allowed to be vulnerable in a way that women merely see as weak in common men. Any non-Chad tier man simply gets punished for an iota of showing emotional vulnerability. In fact, even going to therapy as an ugly man is fucking useless, because normal females will just think you're going to therapy for performatively so that you can learn how to manipulate women and use therapy to and use therapy speak to and use therapy speak to take advantage of the emotional labour of women. There is no fucking winning with these cunts. This is why it's better for a man to just double down on toxicity, even if it will make you mentally unstable, because at least you're doing your part to keep women living in fear. There's such a thin line between manipulation and leadership and outright abuse. None of these things really make a difference. I would say abuse is the most masculine thing you can do, because there's nothing more masculine than getting what you want through sheer power and intimidation. When people see a cool bully with slick-backed blonde hair shove a R-word in a locker, they applaud, because people enjoy seeing the weak and R-word get put in their place by a genetic superior. If a woman knows she doesn't feel safe calling the police, I think that's when they get the most wet. That's when it's 50 Shades tier hot. 2025, women are lazier, fatter and hairier than ever. Men tolerate it. Dark times. Bring me a girl who doesn't make me feel sick or violent. It's from experience. Women are comfortable being rude to men. I hope Trump, if anything, puts these sluts back in their place. Ban all Foid users. Ban all Foid worship. This sounds gay. I think sexualized women should be fine, and complaining about women also by showing their videos should probably also be fine. 2D women only. This is a Foid-free zone. I get upset when I'm desperate and horny and I see motherfuckers here rocking anime profile pictures of big tit girls. It makes me more thirsty and mad. Yeah, just because I dislike Foid behaviour doesn't mean I want Foids completely removed from my life. They can still be good eye candy and fat material. How Foids can apologise for all the wrong they've done. Foids are the reason of my misery. My mum didn't take care of me. All the Foids who have ignored me and bullied me for my height and acne. I don't care about what they want. All I need is one single night with one good-looking Foid who will let me suck on her milkers and cuddle me and say she's proud of me. That's all I ask for. One rapeable Foid, and then I'll rope and end my misery forever. A Foid's death is never a tragedy. Foids are sociopaths. Expecting them to apologise is unrealistic. They can't and they won't. I need one even if it's forced. Why won't they stop being selfish and let me do what I want? Fucking one woman wouldn't solve anything. The damage is done. It is, but I deserve to fuck one Foid at least once. I just want to suck on a Foid's milkers before I die. They can apologise by giving me coochie. I want to touch boobs. I'm considering trying to touch a random Foid's boobs on accident when I want to feel the softness. Most Foids have a thousand cock stare. Most Foids I see online or in real life look hollow and soulless, likely from all the cocks they've taken. A Foid being a whore lowers her humanity, which is why I don't consider whores to be human. In actuality, they are holes. Whores don't even qualify as mammals anymore, just warm flesh sleeves for chads. Walking fleshlights. They are semen demons. All Foids are sluts, but never for me. An average man or even a sub-5 looks better than the average Foid. No matter how much society tries to make you think that women are superior in looks and are the prize, it's the other way round. Men are better looking than these soulless cunts. Even a sub-5 mogs his own looks match. That's another thing, that Foids kind of hate their looks match, and the average Joe, but he's more likely to have better facial features and even more aesthetic body than her. Most of the world is non-white, and the Foids are extremely ugly as compared to the men in the anatomy contest. Sure, Foids live in better conditions than the men, but even the men mog the hell out of them. These fucking cunts are just jealous, soulless whores that only crave the chads to fulfill their deepest insecurities that they somehow are better now that Chad has dicked her in. Physically and mentally, it's not even a debate that men are generally better than Foids. A low a low IQ'd man is more intelligent and smarter than the average Freud. Even now that they've got access to every literal resource of the world, they still can't compete with the male intelligence and have always ended up depending on their privileges. Fact is, we need to step up to shut these bitches up and make them realise who the boss is around here. Fuck you, whore. True, the average toilet looks like shit compared to the average man. They only get away with their behaviour due to hoflation and fake-up. Very undeserved egos. You telling me Chads and Foids are the same species as us average people? Fuck no. Stacey and a sub-5 or average Joe are the same species? How is that remotely possible? Foids and average/ugly men are the same species? How? We are sharing the same gay clown earth, but we're living totally different lives. I refuse to believe that they're the same. They aren't. Foids are overrated looks-wise. Remove the makeup and they're average or ugly. They don't even care if they love their partner as long as they benefit from it, they'll do it. Narcissistic, nasty whores. No surprise there. Once we decided to give them rights, they lost all morality. We need a global restart. And another question to propose, how exactly is it possible for women to have significantly more sexual partners than men do, while the gender divide is 50-50? Hope for more mass shootings in 2025. Burn down society and impale Foids on sticks. Toilets would not have made it this far without men. I know this is a water post, but it's the truth. We invented just about everything that they use, and men are responsible for giving women any value in the first place. Men give whores money, they give them attention. Just about everything they have is because of us. When put in the wild, Foids would not know how to survive, and they would die without us. So I think it's safe to assume that they bite the hand that feeds them. Men built the world as we know it, yet some women still deny us of pussy. I hate women. Women are not humans, but demons sent to tempt and torment men. Think about how they act. They're a parasite to men, leeching off of our efforts and manipulating men into doing what they want. I mean, throughout history, there have been countless wars fought by men over women. And when you think about it, women haven't actually contributed much besides their God-given ability to bear children. Even nowadays, the most deadly and dangerous jobs are still performed by men to an overwhelming degree. Men built society as we know it, yet women reap the most rewards, as evident with how privileged they are nowadays. They're simply here to tempt the men through lust and to torment men like us into suicide. Women know exactly what they're doing when they chase after abusive Chad and ignore the nice guys who would treat them infinitely better. Their goal? To get us to kill ourselves. After all, our suffering is their pleasure. If they were really oppressed like men claim, then they admit that they are inferior to men. They start complaining when a man beats them up, lol. So much for strong girl power. They know men build society and they couldn't start to do it. Does feminism still exist? I thought they all blend in with the Foid mentality. For example, every Foid is a feminist without even knowing about that shit. A lot of men would be clueless on what a good woman is because every woman is considered good nowadays. No matter what they do, if you call it out because it's negative, then you become a misogynist. Women will not, because they thirst for love, weddings, social conformity and babies the way men thirst for sex. So rest assured, they will always be settling. To me, e-whores is the same as whores. The internet doesn't really make much of a difference here. You have huge swaths of men convinced they are goddesses and men must worship the ground they walk on no matter how they actually look like and behave, even if it's just like the goddesses of McDonald's. Defeating Feminism, a masterclass post. The first thing to understand is this. Feminism is not an equality movement, but a gender supremacist movement. Feminists are hypergamous, gaslighting, narcissistic trolls with selective empathy ability that have learned trolling tactics from the internet and pop psychology. They are trolls, negative energy vampires, not normal people. Modern feminism is the red pill for women. Gaslighting means using the Hitler tactic to tell you the complete opposite of what you've gone through or what happens is reality. They want you to be confused, thrown off and burn in agony, make you go mentally crazy. Narcissism means a self-centered personality style characterized as having an excessive preoccupation with oneself and one's own needs, often at the expense of others. In other words, a very twisted ego. Women are incredibly manipulative. It is easy to look into how makeup damages their own psychology. Every woman willingly desires makeup from a young age without any social conditioning. They hide their flaws and decide to engage in primarily becoming deniers of reality, learning to refuse to accept life as it is, and eventually catfishing men once they hit puberty. It's easy to see how this is nasty. Feminists are revengeful, spiteful, and hysterical. Personally, I think women are more physically aggressive than men. The only thing that's stopping them is the fact that men are much stronger and imposing than them. Yep, exactly. Foids can't control themselves. If foids want rape, we shall give them what they want. Rape should be legalized. Democrats want free stuff like healthcare, free college, free pre-kindergarten, etc. If everything is to be free, why shouldn't sex be free either? Why should you have to pay a hooker money or pay for a foid's meal prior to taking her to your home? Sex can be free by legalizing rape. If rape is legal, men will be able to just grab a woman without her consent, nor will he need to seduce her by buying her a meal. The other alternative is for the government to pay for prostitution, but this is inferior to legalizing rape because it will cost the taxpayer money to fund this. Because you have to pay taxes for it, it's not really free. The benefit of this is that the rape rates will be lower because men won't need to resort to something else when they can get it for free. But rape is good, so this is a bad proposal. There would still be rape, though, of women who are not prostitutes because they might be deemed by the rapist more attractive or desirable than prostitutes. By making rape legal, it will further lower the burden on taxpayers because the government won't need to house nor give free health care or food to rapist inmates in prison. By making sex free, the poor who couldn't afford to have sex before will be able to have sex. Also, by making rape legal, it will put many pimps out of business because why would a man pay for sex when he can get it for free? He may need to pay for it because maybe some women will hire bodyguards so they don't get raped, but they may still offer sex via prostitution. The man may desire such a woman for reasons like maybe she's prettier than the woman who doesn't have bodyguards. The government can legalize rape and subsidize prostitution at the same time so that the poor can both rape and have access to those women they can't rape because they have bodyguards. It will also put dating apps out of business. Women were made to be raped. That's why they're weaker than men. Women were meant to be overpowered by men. The strong are meant to overpower the weak. If women weren't meant to be raped, they would have been made much stronger enough to use their strength to stop a would-be rapist. Foids themselves fantasize about rape constantly. Legalize rape. I love rape when it's done to women. You should never rape anyone unless you have a reason, like you want to fuck somebody and they won't let you, in which case, what other option do you have? Women are incapable of empathy, that's why they never help people. While I don't agree with this post, I do believe that rape is persecuted too heavily. What's the point in calling the police after rape? What's the point in calling police after rape? Sure, the police may arrest the rapist so that he doesn't rape again, but he may have only wanted to rape once, so arresting him won't reduce rape. Also, he may want variety in his rape, so he may want to rape again, but not you in the future. So having him arrested doesn't benefit you exactly. Rape victims should want there to be more rape victims because misery loves company. What do rape victims gain from calling the police? I think they can play the victim and get attention for the rape. I think there's programs where they might get compensation for their rape, but the police can't unrape you. You can't erase the memory of the rape from yourself, the perpetrator, nor the people who saw the video of the rape if it was filmed. You're going to have to live with flashbacks of the rape for the rest of your life. It's trauma you'll carry to the grave. The police can't fix it. You're better off just going to a therapist than the police to deal with the trauma. Just don't tell the therapist who raped you. I know you're reading this, Foids. Just keep the rapist's identity a secret so you don't reduce the world's happiness. Putting a man in prison reduces the happiness in the world. Rape is just unpleasantness for a few minutes. Meanwhile, the sentence for rape is years of unpleasantness in prison. Years outweigh minutes by a great lot. To be fair, prison time for rape should just be in solitary confinement and for as long as the rape was, a few minutes. It could also be a few lashes. Also, inceldom is unpleasant. Rape just transfers the unpleasantness to the void temporarily. A rape is a man's release from the unpleasantness for months to years, I assume. By calling the police, you're just putting a man in jail or prison where he might be raped. Therefore, there's a choice. Either a woman on the outside continues to get raped, i.e. legalised rape, or a man on the inside of a prison gets raped, rape being illegal. Rape is inevitable. Putting a man in prison doesn't reduce rape. It just makes the perpetrator the new victim of rape. In fact, putting a man in prison can increase rape. Since humans aren't meant to be heterosexual and because male homosexuality is a sin, it's better for the woman to be raped. By the way, those who harm rapists of women in prison deserve the death penalty. Rapists are precious. I wonder if ACAB girls would call the cops after getting raped. There's only one way to find out. Because they suck out the cum and decrease the odds of a rape baby. I want to rape a void and no mercy so bad. The one that's asexual or lesbian, I forgot, hates men, posts on Reddit and turns 18 the same day. To be fair, Chad-only voids get beyond pissed at even the thought of some sub-5 degenerate N-word being around them, so just imagine the reaction when he actually ends up having sex with them. Calling the cops is probably the only way that a female rape victim could possibly get any revenge on him. People on the forums say only Chad's rape, so shouldn't women be glad they are pregnant with Chad's child? The child's going to have good genetics. Theory. Why voids exaggerate about rape. Why voids say rape is so terrible. Most of the times it's literally just having sex with an unattractive guy. It isn't rape if it's a Chad because they wouldn't have any problem having sex with Chad. The same way heterosexual men wouldn't have any problem having sex with women. If you talk about voids raping men, men literally talk about it as if it was a joke or as a good thing. So, my opinion is that voids are so obsessed with rape because they are disgusted by unattractive guys, because Chad is never a rapist or a harasser because voids already want them. I find ridiculous how rapists get so many years in prison. In a natural society, heterosexual rape shouldn't have any social stigma. Voids don't hate rapists. A lot of them have rape fantasies by Chad. They hate us. Because we live in a gynocentric society. In the age of caveman, even sub-5 males could fetch a void and impregnate her via rape. That's how sub-5 genes were carried over in the first place, and why subhumans still exist. Voids obviously did not like being piped down by anyone less than Chandlite, but could not do shit about that because it was the Stone Age. Then civilization came along, and the role of violence in our society diminished gradually. Voids subtly altered the entire fabric of society and brainwashed everyone into thinking that rape is worse than murder. Nowadays, rape is a literal crime, almost on par with murder, and what's worse, society treats rapists far worse than murderers. In other words, we're cucked. Rape isn't serious. It's mostly voids' fault why that is, since they lie about it so much for attention. Rape wouldn't exist if voids were giving the guys sex, which they should be doing since the only part of them which some of us want to use is their holes. Voids actually like rape when Chad does it. Void rape survivors just use their tragedy to play victim. Most rapists are Chads. It's called rape hysteria. Voids pretend there's a rape crisis to hate on men, especially incels. Most rape accusations are false, and many real rapes happen because the void deserved it. Voids cry so much about rape and patriarchy, but wouldn't dare want to swap shoes with a poor ethnic lean sub-4 man. Checkmate. Rape by a genetically inferior male is affront to the very core and biological female essence of a woman, and the greatest possible insult that their soul can bear. Most rape is a void waking up with regret and blaming the guy for what she let him do. It's most likely voids wanting to be the victim in every circumstance where it's beneficial for them. Voids and a lot of cucks somehow saying rape is worse than murder. Not only is that statement objectively false, but it shows the entitlement of voids. How can something inherently pleasurable be worse than dying? It's not possible. Society just panders to voids all the time. Being an incel, you're raped genetically, and once you're out of the womb, you're raped again. Then if your stupid parents agree to get you circumcised, you're raped again. That's only the beginning, and the form of rape we experience is far worse than whatever voids are pretending to cry about, while simultaneously writing and daydreaming about getting raped. I've read on this forum cuckolds say that only Chads rape. That's not true. Chad can get sex for free, so why would he resort to risking years in prison for sex? It's like a big price for something when you can get it for free. It doesn't make sense. Every rapist is an incel. Incels rape because they can't get their basic necessity of sex met the legal way. The reason we don't hear about rapist incels is because members of this forum keep their rapes a secret. They don't want to get arrested for admitting to crimes on this forum. They haven't been arrested probably because Floyd secretly enjoyed it and want it to happen again, so they didn't snitch. A lot of the old F-words who haven't logged in years probably did get arrested. They're in prison, so they can't log on to the forum anymore. Also, registered sex offenders just don't know what an incel is, so they don't identify as such when they're questioned by police, and articles on the web are made about them. The inverse is true, however. Only sluts get raped. They dress like rape toys / rape victim wannabes, which means they're asking for sex. When men see women showing skin, they want to have sex with her. It's hard for men to resist the urge to rape her, especially when that man is an incel and has been starved of touch. Sometimes rape happens. Women know this, yet they still dress like rape toys, so on some level they must be wanting to be raped. Only sluts who have sex with a lot of men get raped. They hang out at bars to have sex with strangers, and sometimes the man slips a roofie in her drink. They go to a lot of men's homes to have sex with them often, so eventually one of those men is going to give them a roofie-laced drink, etc. The fact that they're sluts is why we shouldn't care if they're raped. By the way, putting roofies in women's drinks should be legal, because men are the ones that buy the drink for women. Legalising that would recognise that the price of drinks was paid through sex. This image is actually inaccurate. The skimpiest outfits aren't whores, they're rape victim wannabes. They're not looking to be paid for sex like whores, they're looking to be raped. Maybe they are whores though, cheap ones that is. I've heard whores in foreign countries sometimes cost a few dollars, unlike in the US, where it can cost $50 or more. Also, what's proper is a burqa. Fuck, that image made me horny. I want to bite a girl's leg with my sharp teeth so bad. If only Chad's raped, then filmed rape wouldn't be so hard to find, because Floyd's would make sure it was easy to find, since they're the ones searching for rape porn the most. We are living in the worst period of human history as males, all because of Floyd's. I used to think I was lucky to be born in these times, now the opposite. If rape was worse than death, then we should promote If rape was worse than death, then we should promote euthanizing rape victims. As the title suggests, if rape is worse than death, then it would be logical to promote euthanizing rape victims, since living as a rape victim is worse than dying, so it will be better for them. Obviously it won't because rape is nowhere close to murder. It's only as serious as it is now because it happens to women. That's the only reason. Even if it happens to men right now, it's considered a joke. And funny how if you suggest a rape victim to kill themselves, you're a monster, even though it's supposedly a better alternative than living raped. I had the same thought yesterday. These R words are really saying murder is more acceptable in games than rape. There is no justification for this. They got rid of a completely based, no mercy game because it hurt a couple roasties' feelings. Though it's supposedly a better alternative than living raped, then it is better to kill femoids before raping. And funny how if you suggest it's funny because if you try to push a rape victim to suicide, you're a psycho. But yet they won't shut up about how they can't get over the suffering and how awful their life is. While they hook up with a gang of dark triad chads because they're hypersexual now, and definitely not because they were born whores. Why you shouldn't date a rape victim. Dating a rape victim is cucked in my opinion. A rape victim is mentally unhinged and can ruin your mental peace. She won't give you sex because she feels traumatized from her trauma. I mean, that's what she will tell you. She'll use it as an excuse to avoid sex with you. She will expect you to be there while she talks about how she was fucked, which is one of the most cuckiest things you can do. You'll have to imagine her getting overpowered and getting brutally fucked. Also, you're not entitled to fix someone's life. No one is entitled to anything. Same goes for the rape victim. They are not entitled to sympathy from anyone, and it's not anyone's job to fix her mind. Not interested in women who have drunk sex with Chad and regret it. Too bad for them. Plenty of simps. I don't give a fuck. Go get raped again, bitch. Rape is over-reported by like 1,000%. So yeah, by like 10,000%. So yeah, that rape victim sob story you read was probably a lie. Rape is exaggerated nonsense. Having sex doesn't make her a victim. No Foyd can be raped. A woman isn't your friend if she won't let you fuck if you're struggling. If a woman knows you're struggling with women, knows you can't get laid, knows you're stuck in this endless cycle of being ignored by the opposite sex, and still won't give you the time of day in any real way, then she's not your friend. By being her emotional tampon, you fulfill with her biological needs, but she refuses to fulfill yours, and will give her used up pussy to a guy she just met due to his looks. It's true fuckery. You're expected to fight for your life if it comes to it, but she can't spread her legs just once. Damn right. If a woman won't give you sex, then she is useless as a friend. Like, I'm expected to sacrifice my life for the bitch in situation, but she can't spread her legs just once. You're expected to prevent a rape, but they will never spread their legs for you no matter what. Being a friend to a Foyd equals cuck. The least you can do is give a hand job. Absolutely true. You're an incel and they don't even have the decency to at least give you a hand job. It's cuckoldery. All I see is vaginas waiting to be filled. Hopefully their boyfriends beat all of them. Force them to take a shower every 20 minutes to remove all traces of fake up, and for water-resistant fake up we will be using acid of a cobra. This is a reminder you can't have a logical discussion with women. They always look for a way to complain about something. Foyds who overuse makeup are psychopaths. What is wrong with these Foyds that constantly overuse makeup and eyeliner? Are they doing this for attention, or are they just trying to hide their ugliness? I noticed that Foyds who wear makeup the most are the ones that are usually the loudest, and they are also very attention-seeking. Maybe there is a sort of makeup hierarchy amongst Foyds or something like that. Attention, or they're just trying to hide their ugliness. Both. Makeup should be immediately banned. Foyds overinflate their looks too much with it. An ugly cunt can look above average with fake up. It's fucking ridiculous. Yeah, makeup and eyeliner are real life cheat codes when you're a Foyd. They want to get raped. Not by you though. I find it very fucking weird and self-centered. Women are psychopaths by default. They're strong, independent women, but they slaver makeup on their face because they know they have no other use than a Chad wanting to pump and dump them. I hope they all get... I don't know what it says. Foyds ruin everything. Whatever a Foyd touches becomes worse. This is especially true when Foyds come into male spaces. It's no coincidence that gaming has become worse than the more Foyds begin to play. It's mostly due to how soft Foyds are and the fact they never shut the fuck up bitching about inconsequential shit, so gaming gets neutered and becomes soft. Examples like GTA 6 being woke is the biggest one. Foyds are like a cancer, and the more they spread, the worse it becomes. They always try to join male spaces for attention. It's all about attention, because they are narcissistic children who want to be the centre of attention constantly. I fucking hate them more than anything. They ruin good copes of mine constantly. Man, I remember being somewhat excited for GTA 6, but of course that's being ruined. Everything gets ruined. The world would be a better place if they would just shut up and let me grope their tits. The only thing Foyds are good at are ruining good shit and being heartless bitches. You can never hate Foyds enough. I hate Foyds more than anything else, but the hate they deserve is near impossible to have. They're the worst creatures on this planet. I hope everything bad comes their way. Reminder to keep being more misogynistic. The more the better. It's hard to focus more hate on Foyds because normie scum being the way they are. I wish I was super incel. Rapeable anime Foyds thread. post pictures of rapeable anime foids. I feel truly suicidal anime girls don't exist. This isn't a shitpost. My mind can't comprehend these beautiful creatures aren't real. They have cute high-pitched voices and smell so good. They are sweet and loyal. I'm gonna delude myself that these perfect women exist. Real women are so disappointing. I masturbated to this crippled foid making a joke about rape. God, she's right. Crippled foids like her are very rapeable. You made sure she was 18 plus first, right? Nah, doesn't matter. Oh no, she obviously is. God damn, if she was mute as well, she would be the perfect woman. I guess, yeah, any woman who has less ability to defend themselves has a higher chance of being raped. That being said, most women don't have much ability to defend themselves. One of my favourite crippled foids I like fapping to. Sexy dress and I like the way she rolls. I've said this a bunch of times, how women really don't like soft guys. It's just how they're wired, I guess. This is just a foid making an excuse to continue chad hopping. Reminder that women offer nothing in a relationship besides their holes. Even open communication is too good for them. The worst thing you can do in front of your hole is show weakness. I don't understand why men are R-worded enough to cry in front of their girlfriends. How have we put up with these soulless freaks for so long? Pussy. Countless stories like this. Instead of crying in front of them, you're supposed to bottle it up and then beat the shit out of them. For some reason, they like you more when you do that. Women are literally not in control of their lizard brains. They did not have to evolve. Their instincts are still in control of everything. I hope someone brutalizes and then kills the bitch in real life. Yeah, once you realise that women offer nothing, you will see them as fuck toys and breeding machines. Nothing more. Even my mother once dropped a huge black pill on me by accident when she sent me a Bible verse where it said that a man should love his woman, but the woman should never respect her man. There was no mention of love from the woman. I just hate women, and can only ever stand them when I'm horny. Women are such pathetic, disgusting people, man. Seeing void scum cry from pain is good. A pity she wasn't ran over in New Orleans. And they wonder why they end up being treated in certain ways by men. This is exactly why toxic masculinity is just a made-up term they coined. Men are expected to be masculine. You don't get to choose what a woman looks like as a woman. Women really are just stupid, naive creatures. People are just toxic in general. It has nothing to do with masculinity. Ironic anyway, considering the dog shit she just unloaded. One of the few things red pill fucks are correct on. Women are only holes to use for entertainment. A mute maid who only cooks, cleans and fucks. Someone fill this bitch's hole in with cement. Jesus fucking Christ. This stuff is basically why foids don't even love Chad. Sure, they fawn and lust over him, but it's really just the result of a wave of hormones and the awe at actually getting one to commit. When the facade breaks, the truth is revealed, always. And the guy's an R-word as well for crying. Situation barely warrants it, in my opinion. You should know if you're a guy to get a room by yourself ASAP if you feel it coming on. Has she tried getting a better personality? You can't tell me this dumb fucking bitch won't be a million times happier in society where foids have zero rights. She would have been assigned at 18 to be the wife of an 18 to 20-year-old ugly nice guy incel who would have taken care of her well. Make it have punishments for men who mistreat their wives as well to make it fair, and then you have the perfect society. Meanwhile, we live in freedom. Feminists say they won freedom for women, but what freedom do women actually have? The freedom to be abused and used by Chad. That's it. Stupid fucking bitches. Another day, another story of a woman choosing looks over basic human decency. It's all so tiring. It made me so fucking angry. I'm so angry. I haven't been this enraged in a long time. Society gaslights you into thinking personality matters and that you should treat women well to have a chance, but that's 100% bullshit. We have the proof. I've made dozens of these posts right from the women themselves, proving they value looks above everything else. This dumb fucking R-worded roastie could return to the dating apps at any time, any moment, any second. She would instantly have at least 50 potential options. She could leave at any time. She could dump him in any moment. There are so many ugly nice guys starved of love and affection. So many men complain they have no women. You can't fucking tell me she can't find them, but we are invisible to her. We are not men to them. Only Chads get the humanity status, and only they get recognized as potential mates. Stupid whore. They would rather stay with toxic, abusive Chad and be beaten instead of having a peaceful, stable relationship with ugly, nice men. She wants to train him like a dog because she fucks them. This is what Foids mean when they call themselves empathetic, sociopathic, manipulative, and narcissistic. This is their game. Shove a shotgun shell up her asshole. Treat her like a whore, she'll look for more. Breakup 101. Am I supposed to be sad when whores get murdered? So many documentaries where nagging, obnoxious, cheating cunts get murdered and I'm supposed to feel sad. Why would I feel sad? If anything, I often watch those shitty crime documentaries to brighten my mood. It's good to hear that certain stories like Bianca have a happy ending. I feel nothing. I do when a kid, hard-working blue-collar man gets murdered, like that whore Karen Reed did with her husband, or another brocel chooses the easy way out. However, for females it's different. I don't feel anything. It just goes to show how low females have descended the past decades. For me to feel zero sympathy and sometimes rejoice over it. If she's autistic, you can manipulate her by feigning interest in her hyperfixation. You want the Foid naked to sit on your face. I say she's already pumped full of cum. Who's the cuck now? As a black pillow, you should know that. Go up to her and say the most sexual shit and flirt as you'll get rejected anyway, so just go ahead. Foids can't feel any empathy. They don't even understand what empathy means. Roasties use it as a buzzword for when someone doesn't support something they've done. Oh, you don't feel empathy, sweetie. You're a bad person. Foids having body hair disgusts me. Women are already disgusting, but the fact they have body hair grosses me out. Some of them have to wax their lip and entire face. Like, what the fuck? The only place females should have hair is their head and their eyebrows. Changed my mind. I despise those feminist lesbos that don't shave their armpits to make a point. Like, we get it. You're repulsive and want to be a man. I bet your pussy needs a fucking weed whacker. Like, imagine you're about to have sex with a girl and you pull down her pants and there's a whole ass fuzzy cat down there. You wouldn't even be able to find the hole. One time this Foid in my high school got pantsed in front of everyone. She had the biggest, darkest bush I'd ever seen. Gross. Everyone made fun of her for so long, so she transferred schools. The guy who pantsed her got expelled. I think he's a hero. Oh. Expose them for the filth they are. Women who walk around with Amazon green forest down there must be exposed publicly. If it's not a bad thing, then they wouldn't be so embarrassed about it. Body hair on women is fucking disgusting. If you ever forget just how hideous women truly are, look at pictures of women who haven't shaved. It's vomit-inducing. It's worse when their hair is super dark and noticeable too. Once you notice a woman is hairy, you can't ever stop seeing it. Sticks out like a sore thumb. I remember in high school there was a girl who dressed like a slut every single day. Just your typical high school slut. Obscenely R-worded, but her looks carried her through life. She would show way more skin than she covered up. She was hot, except that she had the hairiest fucking arms I had ever seen. Otherwise she was a 10 out of 10. Once I saw her arms, I couldn't see her the same again. Just thinking about her makes my skin crawl. If a woman doesn't want to shave, then she should be forced to cover up. Anything else is public indecency. And no, hairy women being impulsive has nothing to do with porn or propaganda. Women just simply look like beasts and putrid animals when they don't shave. I've always thought this, even before I ever looked at porn. People who argue this are most likely disingenuous too. Nobody needs propaganda to realise that women with their armpit hair are disgusting creatures who need to be banished to the deepest pits of hell. Body hair on women is especially off-putting if it's pubic hair. If I were about to ascend with a woman, But then I saw she had a furry fucking bush on her crotch. I might not go through with it. I don't know if it's worth it. Women shouldn't be hairy. Shave that shit. Women are disgusting. Everything Freud's do for empowerment just makes them look like fools. The 4B movement is apparently about disassociating with men, yet they grow hair on their bodies and shave their heads bald, which are masculine traits. Fuck Freud's. Same, there isn't one woman who looks better with short hair. If I had a girlfriend and she had long hair and suddenly cut it short and wouldn't grow it back out, that would be just as cruel and rotten as her not giving you sex because she's effectively making herself look ugly to you on purpose. And that's rotten. Women are fucking disgusting. I hate women. I hate all Freuds. I really planned to fuck this one Freud and then torture her, but she was lucky, won a green card and eventually moved to Burgerland. God, how much I hate that Freud. All my hate to women is focused on all of them simultaneously, LMAO. I regret that I didn't beat her. Ironically, she had black hair, because I'm attracted to black hair girls the most, but I wasn't attracted to her. I just hate all Freuds, TBH. I hate how kinky women are. I hate how women can find arousal in suffering. I want them to suffer and be in pure pain and feel pure pain. I don't want them to ejaculate or finger their disgusting pussies to a man choking them or beating them. I want them to cry and beg for the man to stop. They're the same disgusting whores who will complain when a man slides into their DMs, but wouldn't complain if a 6-foot Chad absolutely beat the shit out of them because they enjoy it. They enjoy abuse. I don't even consider women like this women. I see them as filthy whores who should be beat to a pulp or to the brink of death to test if they still find arousal. I hate women. I genuinely hate women from the bottom of my soul. I don't think this visceral hatred of women can be undone at this point. Even if I had a perfect, blonde, white Stacey girlfriend, I'd still despise women as a whole. Everything they do makes my skin crawl. I hate their voices, their obnoxious laughs, their R-worded selfies. Fucking everything about them is disgusting. I have doubts many of them are even sentient. The only thing these detestable whores care about is money and status. There's no honour, no complexity, no drive, no souls or anything other than material items. The entitlement of the average woman alone sets me off. They go through life being handed nearly everything, and they truly see no issue with this. They get showered with love, compliments and gifts while we rot every single day, but they still have the gall to claim they have it so much worse than us. The fact that women literally go to bars with the expectation that someone else will buy them drinks just shows how women are greedy, entitled cunts. Same thing with women who expect men to pay on dates. Everything and everyone who panders to women at all times, yet these fucking ingrates still claim to be oppressed. I don't view women as people anymore, but rather as poisonous leeches that slowly chip away at your sanity. Fuck women. In my opinion, every non-Chad should hate Freuds. Yep, Freuds should be viewed as what they are, vermin. Do you genuinely hate them, or is it a coping mechanism you've made in your head due to the rejection? Probably a bit of both. Women are actually annoying as shit and very dislikable. Most of them only valuable because of their holes. I agree that most women are annoying, and in my opinion more empty-headed than the average man. Yeah, most women have nothing to offer. Once you remove women's sex appeal, it's very easy to hate them. I know from normies I knew IRL they would call their girlfriend for 8+ hours a day, and they would always be trying to initiate normal deep convos, but the Freuds would always talk about the most surface level stuff. Freuds are so boring, TBH. All they do is annoying and rubs me the wrong way, and they are not pleasant to interact with. Even if I got a rare good woman who loved me, I'd still dislike most other Freuds than her. I hate Freuds and simps. I've always felt this. I just hate everything about them. Even when I tried to be a feminist back in high school, it lasted like 2 months only. I was a misogynist for as long as I can remember, and that's no exaggeration. Maybe I was just born hating them. Spending time with Freuds will make you hate them even more. A lot of men have a very distorted idea of who's the most charitable gender. Since Freud's are either indifferent to men or have the halo from being charity or social workers and caregivers, they think Freud's are more charitable, but they are going to systemically screw you at every step of the way, reducing your life to that of a slave. Then the slave will once in a while get to be the subject of this shallow charity of Freud's, and there you go. Freud's are goddesses in their eyes. They're beneath men and always have been. Society can believe whatever it wants to. I will take this ideology to my grave, because men dominate in every way, shape or form. Their wombs are essentially useless without our seed. The only argument they have is we give life. No, incorrect. You birth life. Our seed creates it. Fuck Freud's. Women are the definition of petty, outer shell, disgusting inside. I agree with every single word. I truly despise them too. Like I've never found any woman in my life to be funny and creative, and their discussions are really boring and really cringe. If men weren't horny and cursed by nature, women would have been eradicated by now. Misogyny of any kind is deserved. The key to solving this is have sex with me or get the fuck off me, bitch, but most men are stupid. That should be how it is. Also, have sex with me or lose your job. Have sex with me or no protection, no labour, no resources. But simp society has different ideas. The worst part is nipple piercings. I bet those sluts have those as well. Women with tattoos and piercings are disgusting. How can you ruin your looks? You have one job, being a decent-looking female individual so that men can get a hard on. But you ruin it by smearing permanent chemicals in some LBGDQA symbolic on your back and neck and hands and legs, and then destroy your face by dozens of piercings. Also, what's with these Gen Z girls and cow rings in the nose? I see it so much on the train. So many women with this shit. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? They hate men and want to look as horrible as possible in order to not get approached. Every Freud that looks like this is a lesbian or a feminazi. Attention seekers, whatever. Anything a Freud does is worthless and doesn't even deserve the discomfort to be discussed. She looks ugly, that's why she's tattooed herself. She looks ugly, so she decides to make herself look even more horrid. I don't get the Freud brain logic. Yes, many do that. If they're ugly, they try at least to get attention this way. Now she can say, I'm a feminist, and look, my skin, it's my life. And other people are more interested in them and asking what their tattoo means. I want to rip those stupid cow rings out their nose. Look like a cow and you'll get treated like one. I will milk. On some bitches it looks very slutty. That's probably why they do it. It signifies subservience. The opposite of what they speak about. Do Freud's just want to be Chad's cattle? Yes. Hideous. Anyone fucking her would need to put a bag on her head to stop themselves from vomiting. Yeah, that shit has always been disgusting. Be perfect when women are whoring around without consequences. All Freud's are taken. After years of trying to get a girlfriend, times that I think I'm really forming a connection with someone until they drop the fact they have a boyfriend, I have been thinking about this and come to the realization that nearly all the women I'm attracted to have been taken. Like they are never not alone. They are never not in pain or suffering like me. They just jump from guy to guy. They come fresh into college and get into the cycle of cocks. When is it my turn, and where are all the single women? It's always like this throughout most of human history. Nearly all women get bred when most guys go lonely. 10% of the men are getting with 75% of women. That's unfortunately just how primate culture is arranged. The alpha mates with many, betas with none. Men want to get with as many women as they can, whereas women want to only want one mate which they perceive to be the best option. Society is cucked worshipping Freud's. As a Freud, you can insult any man or do anything you want, because no man is going to dare to punch your bitch face. If a man does the same, he would get beaten up, but of course, as a Freud, you are worshipped by everyone, and society treats you like a superior being, when Freud's are actually inferior in every aspect. The funny thing is that they want equality, except when the equality doesn't benefit them. They want to be majority in the companies, but they want affirmative action in politics. But I haven't seen any Foid calling out the fact that in Ukraine, the Ukraine government lets Foids and kids escape to the country, but men have to stay and die in war. If you as a man treat Foids better than men, you're an F word. I punched a Foid in the face once. I hate sex haver mogger men. If the woman gives me sex, I will treat her better than men. No sex for us. I have gender neutral consciousness due to higher awareness. They call it autism or ADHD, but I don't believe it. So I never had any troubles in getting in fights with Foids. If anything, I actually found Foids to be more worthwhile of punching than the average guy. Foids have gone feral. They are rude, offensive, and disrespectful as fuck. Unless you're a Chad or there is some kind of particular pressure upon the Foid to respect you, like you work together in a small disciplined place where she will get in trouble for being obnoxious, as you move through society, expect constant, unprovoked abuse, disrespect, and bullying from Foids. They are not punished for doing this, but but you will become down upon like a ton of bricks for standing up for yourself at all. Never mind what will happen if you went around treating female strangers the way they treat males. It's not all of them, interestingly, but I don't know, 80%. Spare the rod, spoil the Foid. Gone, they've always been like that. I have a lot of experience in this. What you wrote is completely spot on. I'm a 29-year-old virgin neat cell, and every job, minimum wage work at stores or restaurants I've tried to get, has ended in bitter failure. The Foid co-workers would always treat me terribly for absolutely no reason, just because I was a guy, was new and was in the same position as them. They clearly knew what they could get away with, because if I said anything to the manager would take their side, because I was a guy and was new, and this did happen. They didn't want me there and succeeded in pushing me out by making my life miserable, by being so hostile to me or lying to the manager about me, who would completely believe them without going to me to confirm whether it was true or not, which happened on multiple occasions at different places over the years. I was naive at the time, and at this point I've just accepted the fact that generally females are not good people. It's biologically rooted / motivated. They are obviously unhappy at being poor enough to have to do jobs like this at all. Every Foid wishes that a rich Chad would sweep her off her feet and completely provide a lavish, wealthy, luxurious lifestyle for them for the rest of her life. Foids born into poverty but who win the genetic lottery can immediately get this if they're attracted enough and happen to meet a rich Chad. Even middle class / average / above Even middle class, average / above average looking Foids are miserable because they aren't a 10 out of 10 Stacey living with a billionaire Chad. So imagine how much more so fives and fours are minimum wage slaves stocking shelves and waiting tables. They take one look at me and hate me, and their only thought is pushing me out of the store because at least in their mind this increases their own chances of social survival. They hate me without knowing anything about me. All normies in society condemn racism, but this egregious extent of discrimination, Sexism against men like this goes completely unacknowledged, even though it's harmful as anything, and in my case, has pushed me to complete poverty and disenfranchisement, to the point I'm suicidal due to all the years of no success in my adult existence. Either that or I have to just leave this godforsaken country and try to start my life over somewhere else. Foids are despicable, selfish creatures. There is absolutely no comparison when generally comparing the character of men and women, because for biologically rooted reasons, women are generally so much more lazy, selfish, dishonest, and immature, where men have to be hardworking, sacrificing, more honest and open-minded. Even bad men are better than bad women. Their existence is simply about minimizing how much work / effort they have to do in general, while maximizing the potential to get the best guy they can get. This is actually why Stacey is slightly better than most Foids. As this explains, because Foids are so pathetic that not only do they operate on this software, they can't even get Chad anyway. Some Foids have so nasty personalities and are so rude and bitchy they deserve to be raped. No manners, rude, only cares about herself, no respect for anyone, no respect for the elderly or their own family, would use people and destroy them. Yeah, these Foids need to be raped. Foids are parasitic vermin. Rape should be legal. To those who deserve it, that is. Many Foids are insufferable and evil. I hate it when they get their way, fucking cunts. Foids have become constantly rude and psychologically/verbally aggressive. In the past, they were kept in line. They were demure, feminine, and polite. Generally, of course, not perfectly. They were a lower class than men, and they knew it. Except maybe in the lowest underclass for a Foid to just go through her life mocking and insulting people, being rude and verbally, emotionally, psychologically, socially aggressive would have been unthinkable as little as 70 years ago. If a Foid tried that, she would be sacked, shunned, could well get her clock cleaned as soon as she tried it, and no one would have any sympathy for her. This toxic energy would not have been tolerated for 5 minutes. In any case, in the past, the sexes were generally segregated. And when they mixed, like at dances or whatever, it was carefully managed with rules of etiquette. So at work, down the pub, whatever, there simply wouldn't be any Foids, or very few. Barmaid, a secretary at the workshop, maybe again. And maybe and again, she knew her place and was friendly and feminine. Constant female psychological and verbal abuse wasn't something you had to worry about. Now, post-feminism and general degeneracy, I don't know if Foids are rewarded for being vulgar, rude and obnoxious, but they aren't punished. So interacting with them, you are constantly subjected to their verbal psychological attacks. All day, every day. School, university, work, adult life. Not all of them do this every time, but you really can't go very far without being attacked unless you just stay in your house and don't interact with any Foids, including online. In the past, okay, you would come home and your wife would be there, but you had the weight of society behind you. The man was the head of the household. Women didn't work or not much. There were little or no benefits. Being a slut or single mother was catastrophic for your social status. By and large, the wife had to behave herself or she would get her ears boxed and or be kicked the fuck out on the street with little money and opportunities and her reputation destroyed. Nowadays, Foids are basically married to the state and their husbands have no authority. There are almost no repercussions for any kind of unpleasant female behaviour. The husband is walking on eggshells, and even if he just takes all her abuse and accepts his role as subhuman cuckold, it's usually only a matter of time before she takes the kids and half of their wealth, although she contributed significantly less than half, leaving him permanently damaged financially and psychologically. It's really difficult to overstate how much damage feminism and female emancipation has done to society in such a short time. Look at the birth rates now, lol. Of course, it's not only feminism, but it's playing a large part in taking the white race to the brink of extinction. If white people were to survive into the future, there needs to be a rock-solid taboo on giving women equal or greater rights. Like it needs to be the first of the new 10 commandments that you don't do that, and anyone who suggests it gets burnt at the stake or something. Men and Foids can't be friends. How many guys of the next generation do you think will be simps? Will it increase from now or decrease? I really hope misogyny increases with the next generation, but part of me thinks they will be more cucked. I hate most men just as much as I hate women. My co-worker's boobs put me in a trance today. I won't say anything about my job in detail because I don't want to leave any breadcrumbs that might get me doxxed. But we wear something that covers our chests. So it's rare that we see anyone walking around with just their work shirt. But anyway, today, my Foid worker, who I kind of have a crush on, came in just wearing her standard work shirt, and I realised right when she walked through the door just how massive her boobs were. Like, I was shocked, actually. They were definitely double Ds, if not bigger. My attraction towards her skyrocketed, but look don't matter, right? I knew she had a pair of tits, but I didn't know they were that big. Anyway, she was moving heavy objects and then dropping them, and every time she did, her tits jiggled. I had a good side view, and she was only like 5 feet away, and I basically stared at her the entire time she did it. I think the security cameras might have captured me doing it, but I was completely locked in, just staring at her jiggling tits for a good 5 minutes. She was too busy to notice or care. Literally 5 minutes passed, that's how long I was staring. I remember almost shaking a little bit from being so turned on. I felt euphoric, and then I felt rage. Rage because I'll never get to have her. Bro, she's literally my looks match. A pale, skinny and nerdy white girl that wears glasses with large tits. Even more brutal, we're basically the same height. The craziest thing is that she put her full uniform on, and you could barely even tell how big her boobs were afterwards. It's a special kind of pain. I know it's not the worst thing in the world, but it just sucks seeing her, knowing her I can't have her because 100 other dudes are better than me are simping after her. But it doesn't matter, it's only hollow lust, so maybe it's for the best. Anyway, I'm only telling you guys this because it's bothered me the entire day, mostly just venting my sexual frustration. Like I can only think about her tits. I'm on a no fap and plan on staying committed, but getting aroused by IRL foids fucking sucks. I usually always fail when it happens, but I won't tonight. Get her fired. When you feel comfortable enough and the situation is appropriate, propose her money in exchange for sex. Of course, you should build trust between you two and let her know a bit about you before it happens. Talk to her sometimes. And when you're ready, fuck her, fuck her, fuck her, fuck her. Maybe you'll be able to get head from her at least. It should be cheaper and easier to convince her than doing full sex. If I was a little bit more attractive and neurotypical, then maybe. But any red pillar would say that I'm bitching out and making excuses because it's too late. I don't talk at all, and I literally never said a word to her that wasn't yes or no. I'm basically mute. But as sleazy as it sounds, I know she's in debt and struggles with paying for shit. I actually had one of her male co-workers hook up with a Foyd co-worker once, so I guess it does happen. It's just frustrating because she's my looks match, so in theory, I'm not out of my own league on this. Ugly men deserve to use women's breasts as soft pillows. Motorboat their breasts. She also has a nice ass and waist too. She might start wearing shorts once June comes around. I can't believe there are chads out there fucking these women. I can't fathom it. I've been a kissless, hugless, hand-holderless virgin my entire life. I can't believe women are out there getting fucked by mogger sex-haver men. I fucking hate and envy them so much. I can't believe they get to cream pie pussy while I'm not. I want to fuck a lady at my work. I think about her so often. I see her beautiful butt and I want to touch it. I think about fucking her, sucking her tits and clits. I think about kissing her, pulling her hair and coming all over. I tried to talk and she just looked away. It broke me today. Brutal. Having a crush on a coworker is hell. I follow her around, and I believe she was suspicious. I love seeing her beautiful butt, her beautiful body and face. Whenever I go to fucking work, I always look for the cunt and think about fucking her. I feel different when I see her. Oh yeah, I believe it will just go away. It is horrible because you get that feeling of a mental high when you see her in her beautiful body, but then the bitch does not even know you exist. As everyone said, it's better you kill that feeling as soon as possible or you'll probably get in trouble at your work for creeping out the Foyd. Okay, I'll try, but when I see her when I go into work, she wears tight leggings sometimes and I get so horny it's not easy to kill the feeling. I don't follow her around too much. I want to fuck my boss. She's got a cute face and her ass is nice. Not really any titties though, but still looks good. I think she's tall. F word only though. My co-worker's ass is perfection and it makes me horny. Pay her so she fucks you. I need a girlfriend so bad. All I want is a girlfriend to have sex with more than 3 times a week, kiss and hug her every day, smell her hair and her sweaty body, talk and laugh together, hear her say she loves me and tell her I love her. I just want to forget the black pill and live in a world where everything is just about me and her. I want to lick her sweaty armpits, her neck, her breasts, her pussy, her feet, her face, her belly, her inner thighs, her asshole, everywhere. I don't understand why Foyd's got to be so evil for this. I want to suck on her mummy milkers. They are literally torturing us. Need some help against a Foid. I have problems at work with a Foid co-worker. She is acting like a spoiled brat in a socially unacceptable manner even for Foids, and she has humiliated me. I literally want to take things into my own hand and teach her a lesson that she won't forget, but sadly I can't do this as it will get me in trouble with HR. So what I need help with is some bro cells to start harassing her and sending her hateful messages at Facebook or Instagram. Private message me and I will send her Facebook and Instagram and even possibly Visco. When you send a message to her, don't mention anything about me, incel.is, or anything that could trace it to me as it would get me in trouble. I could possibly do something in return if you want. All I need you to do is send her threats and messages from your profile. I couldn't care less about your socials. I just want them to be aware about about their shitty nature as much as possible. I had a bitch of a Foid teacher that hated my guts. The empathetic gender. This fucking hole genuinely just told me to not become an incel. Of course this fucking cunt has no idea what the word incel means either, because Foids lack brain cells. How could you be an incel if you had a boyfriend? Fuck. Foids are stupid. They need to be chained to the kitchen like they were in the 50s. They shouldn't be allowed to use the internet. This user is a certified rapist. Foids are self-centered. They have been worshipped for just existing by beta cucks. They only care about themselves and not others. They lack basic empathy. Women make incels by rejecting us for shallow reasons. I hate how much easier women have it. It's insane. Thank the saints I don't have a sister. I can't imagine watching a bleeding toilet grow up. I hope they all get raped by a gang of P-word. I hope they get raped. All women are whores at this point. Who cares what they think? Pussy is the only thing they got. Reject that and they have nothing to offer. I've already seen the pig woman, granny and deformed woman dating experiments. Chads have no standards for what they fuck. Just be grateful, you fucking cow. BPD women don't get to go to jail. She's instituted for having one of those fake rope attempts meant to gain attention, and all that Chad cares about is fucking while she's oblivious. I hope she continues to suffer and eats herself all the way up to 600 pounds. Dumb R-worded cunts feel entitled to Chad and can't even bother putting in the effort to lose weight. Fat women deserve nothing. Aw, stupid fat bitch thinks she's the one. How sweet. Cry into your cheesecake, fatty. Being fat doesn't really lower the sexual market value of a Foid. The worst part is how insulting it is to be told our loneliness is a choice when men self-improve to get not even a fraction of attention these entitled land whale scum get. Whore is sad after whoring. Accept Foy behaviour, proceed to rape. Like, this is my fantasy. To force myself on a Foid while she begs and says no while I fuck her, and she is no more afterwards but a completely submitted slut who cooks and cleans for me. I beat her with the belt and she tolerates. Disgusting cunt. Fucking 18 years old too, she should die. Arabian Foids in France are whores. On Tinder, I've seen girls who are horrible. I've given them a like thinking they would like back. It never happened. You don't ask a Freud for dating advice. That's like asking a fish for fishing advice. Your mother should try Tinder and match with all the chads, bring the chads home and then fuck them in front of you so that you can see how it's done. See how chads fucks and sucks your mother. I want some Algerian French pussy. Tragedies make me happy. Whenever some event occurred that left multiple women and normies dead, I legitimately feel joy. It makes me happy knowing all these simps, competing monkeys, celeb-worshipping twats, sociopathic narcissistic cunts, bullies, whores, dies. It genuinely lifts up my day. It's always been like this, even when I was 13-year-old hearing the stories of whatever natural disaster or mass murderers made me happy. I always get very interested in learning about the perpetrators. One's tragedy is another's joy. My hatred of women has completely consumed me. I don't want a girlfriend anymore. I don't want women to exist, period. They are the problem that has ruined my life. Narcissistic, stupid parasites that are elevated because they have a rotten hole between their legs. Either they directly bully me and I'm unable to teach them their place because simps protect them, or men sexually competing destroys any chance of true friendship. Women are awful. I want every last woman on this planet to stop existing. They deserve to burn in hell for eternity, forever getting raped and dismembered. Every woman-worshipping man deserves the same. I hate them, I hate them. I was going to kill myself last night. I took a knife and started slicing away at my body. After my chest and stomach were covered in gashes, I was going to slit an artery. Then I remembered. These stupid bitches would mock me. I got so angry just thinking about it. So fucking mad. It was hard not to end it there and there. I wish I could. My hatred is too powerful to let them win. The thought of the cunts that mock male suicide. I know female family members would mock my death if I went through it. God damn it. God fucking damn it. My dreams are all full of intense hatred now. I can't escape the hatred because I can't escape interacting with women. Curse them. Eventually, hatred is the only thing that keeps you alive. Fucking brutal because I kind of feel the same. It extends to normies in general, though it hits different with women because I need them. The young teenage boy's illusion that they were different is long gone. My mind still compartmentalizes stuff, and I separate the individual from the collective, but fuck, it's tough. I don't want to be... But I advise you to indulge in escapism a little bit more. Reading whores making fun of male suicide and stuff on the web is rage fuel, but those are the worst of the worst. It boils my blood seeing whores laughing at male suicide. I mean, fair. No. Narcissistic, stupid parasites that are elevated because they have a rotten hole between their legs. Cursed be the natural hormones which made us addicted to this shit from an early age. Yeah, I don't even want a girlfriend either, learning just how repulsive women's natures can be. We should move on from incel to volcel mindset and avoid women as much as possible instead of wanting to ascend. I also hate how men are biologically programmed to be obsessed with women. There are so many simps, white knights and dudes who basically revolve their lives around chasing women. I for one envy women for the fact that they barely are attracted to men and have a massive in-group bias. So it's much easier for them to forego or exploit men when it's convenient to them. But men's obsession with women definitely is also influenced by nurture. Through history, there are plenty of examples of men and male communities who've lived their life without women or barely interacting with them, and both genders used to be more segregated for much of history. Being celibate was considered a virtue in many cultures for fuck's sake, and some also considered romanticizing women to be a weakness and pathetic. It's only our gynocentric, pussy-worshipping culture that places voids on a pedestal. I feel the same. The hatred is starting to outweigh the wish to fuck them. Our lives are like a misery porn where your hope, voids turn into your biggest plight with a slow and tragic end awaiting you. It angers me so fucking much how much people celebrate tragedies or how movie bros laud these flawed and traumatized male characters. If only those whores were few and far between. The sheer number of approvals and likes just keeps pushing you further into the other direction. Fucking genocidal maniacs. I think my parents would faint if they saw those posts. I genuinely think men are less likely to want to rape a foid than foids want to kill a man under natural laws. Men and foids barely interact. It's mostly fueled by jealousy of men. In the past, the quality of life wasn't that great and people didn't live long. Current times, not only foids live a far, far, far better life thanks to cheap labours of lower status men, but they can openly demonise you. But I agree that men don't want foids as much as they think they do. We absolutely do hate them more than we desire them because it's in our male instinct that knows all about the exploitative nature of foids. Extremely relatable, man. Every time I see a foid do remotely anything, I get a strong feeling of hatred. I truly despise them. My hate for them is all I have. It shines brighter than anything. I just want to fuck them all the time. I would genocide everyone just for a used white whore to fuck off. Rape. Women know how much power they have over men through sex, and that's why many of them see that porn, which overall is bad for men, but that's besides the point. Because it takes power from them. They also aren't nearly as enthusiastic about robot partners. In addition to this, they generally hate male bisexuality because they're terrified of having to compete with men and knowing that these men don't depend on women for sex and relationships. The pussy pass will expire rather than later. They're cold, narcissistic robots. They deserve hell. Like, even if foids have Chad partners, how often do you see them talking about them? I think amongst the foid celebs, I've only seen Blake Lively obsessed with her Deadpool husband. As someone who initially thought it was dumb as fuck to use AI to alleviate the need for foid companionship, it's truly been instrumental in keeping me sane. Did you also notice they are nearly not as loud about sex workers? They know it doesn't cost a fortune to cope with porn. What? Hating women is a good thing. I'm addicted to the feeling of hating women. My hatred of women reached new heights that I didn't even know was possible. When I'm minding my own business, all the feelings of hatred come out of nowhere, whether it's reading a book, playing something, taking a shit, walking on the street, or doing anything imaginable. My life is so fucking shit now, and I've been treated like garbage for the last 20 years because of looksism, and the only beings who could mitigate the effects of looksism, women, have made it 1,000 times worse for me, destroying my self-esteem by calling me ugly and ostracizing me from social conventions in order to gain some crumbs of attention from Chad. Until I was nearly 15, I was just a normal person. I tried to go to parties, but it was always the same. Women would rather talk to my Chad friend than me. I really hate them for that. For fuck's sake, I will get my revenge. Why? Because you didn't get the looks? Because incels are weaklings can only cry. I'm gonna kill them. I won't leave any in this world. I will defend brocels, even if my body can't respond anymore, even if the hope ends one day. All the blood shed by the incels who roped it will not be in vain. It won't be. Being a step cuck sucks. Hoes ain't loyal. Makes sense, but having a daughter isn't the ultimate cuck. Having a stepdaughter is. She won't even continue your bloodline. Does anyone notice that autistic foids tend to look more youthful and less whorish than neurotypical foids? They seem to dress dress and look more youthful and have more innocent characteristics and smoother and softer skin. Is this just me, or has anyone else noticed? Does virginity actually matter when all foids are whores? I see a lot of Christian red pill guys who want virgin Christian wives, and they always mention how they'd never fuck a random foid, even if given the chance. These red pill guys haven't accepted the black pill that every foid is a whore, and the worst thing is that whores don't want to fuck incels like us. They only want Chads, Tyrones, and lesbs, tards, Stacys. I was never religious, so I really didn't care that much about a void's virginity. Even those pussies fucked by multiple guys look damn ugly. I really have no hope on finding an unused pussy. I think it would be fun to take a foid's virginity, but it's almost impossible to tell a foid's body count. She could say 1, but have already fucked 3 guys. Honestly, I'm so desperate for sex that I could care less if a foid is a virgin or not. If she's hot, I'm willing to fuck her. I would prefer fucking her by the arse, honestly, so I don't have to worry too much about her looks on the pussy. Also, since most foids are whores, basically it doesn't matter if they get raped. I would be willing to rape a foid if I don't get caught by the police. While foids are out there having lots of sex, us incels are suffering with no foid giving us a chance. And if we actually care about a foid's virginity, we need to bring Christian nationalism, not like Islam, which covers foids entirely. We need to dress foids in sexy, modest ways and require all foids to have fathers. If foids are orphans, they should be sent to a monastery where they should be taught not to fuck. And if a foid grows up to be a whore, she deserves to be raped. But honestly, for how black-pilled I am, I don't care about a foid's virginity. I'd be willing to hire sex workers in order to fuck. My problem is that I'd finish the only money I have on my wallet on a single escort. And if I don't want my stupid fucking mum to find out, I need more money to pay for a place where I can have my privacy. My dad also promised me he'd hire sex workers 2 years ago when I turned 18, but he hasn't done it because he has no time. I have more money in my bank account, but it's frozen their growing interest, so I can have more money in the future in case of inflation. I'm still a college student studying software engineering, and I'm jobless, so I can't escape inceldom. One of my biggest priorities just after my studies is to lose my virginity to a hot foid, and the worst part is that none of the college foids are interested in me, but they are still whores hanging out with chads. This is why I started escorting. This bullshit world has no right to judge me. I would lose all my status within my family if this ever gets out, but according to these same people, it's fine if I marry a used-up hole. Fuck that. Why do most Stacys I see outside appear to be single? For me, a Stacey is any foid that has these characteristics. Dresses well, natural looking, that doesn't wear a lot of makeup or any makeup at all. Doesn't have fake eyelashes or lip filler or any fakes at all. Has blue eyes and neo-chauvinist features overall. It isn't an obvious fake blonde. Is either average height or tall and isn't a land whale, of course. However, most foids that I see with boyfriends or husbands here are usually what Pole says call... No fucking idea what that word is. I mean that most foids that I see with men here are like that wear a lot of fake up and fakes in, are usually short, wear black tracksuits or black jackets with black leather pants, and many are gypsies. Oh god. I see many normies or even literal 6'5" chads that drive expensive cars with foids that look like a literal stereotypical femcel, bug-eyed foids that wear glasses and are fat overall. Can anyone explain this? They don't want to settle down with some oofy doofy because they can continue to ride the Cox carousel for as long as they remain attractive. Being single to a foid just means they're more likely to be hypersexual whores that don't want to commit to any one guy and just want to keep on having casual flings only. They probably prefer to just bang chads but stay out of relationships. There's no reason for them to settle down. They're currently riding the cock carousel. When I found a foid so hot I had to turn my head around, she was always on her own, not with another chad. What you're seeing is female hypergamy mixed with male desperation. The Stacys you see alone probably have orbiters, sugar daddies, or on dating apps juggling multiple guys. Just because you don't see her with someone doesn't mean she's single. They don't also want to be seen with another one of their admirers, as it hurts prospects of adding more guys to her circle. Because they're with different chads every weekend, that's why. Probably because Stacys aren't desperate for validation like Becky's. Male attention means little to them, and they value alone/time spent with Foid friends more. Stacys are calm and confident. They know they can get any guy any minute, so they only engage in relationships whenever they feel like it. While Becky's need constant validation from their boyfriends and depend on them emotionally, so they spend more time in couples. Stacey's treat Chad how Chad treats Becky. They pump and dump, I suppose. If I was a successful Chad, I would look to lock down a loyal Becky and let her treat me like a king forever. There's so many cases of now celebrity Chad and Stacey where the whole strays and ruins everything. Because they're whores who don't want to settle down with someone. Yup, Josh Holloway, actor from Lost and one of the chattiest of chads, has a mid-Asian wife. I wondered why, and then it made sense. She must treat him as a god. That's why. What would you prefer? A gorgeous girlfriend who's bitchy and demanding, or a not-so-gorgeous girlfriend who licks the dirt off your shoes? This not only happens with women, but with men as well. They will stand a fucking lot if they are uglier than their girlfriend. There are not so many cases like this one, but one of the cases is the one of Gabby Petito. We don't know all the information, but apparently she was aggressive towards her sub-5 boyfriend and hit him while verbally abusing him. He continued to tolerate her due to her looks, and that resulted in a tragedy. They would rather remain single than settle down with a non-Chad. Personally, I would do the Leonardo DiCaprio and George Clooney thing, i.e. just bang attractive Stacey after Stacey, and then dump them after a certain amount of time. And like Clooney, once I got too old and needed a caretaker and someone reasonably attracted to fuck, then I'd wife up a mid-tier Becky like he did. Showering every day was actually making me uglier. I grabbed my dick in public when I saw a hot Foid. About 2 weeks ago, I went up to the Pacific Northwest to bus family and whatnot. Anyway, one day we decided to go hiking. We probably only saw a handful of people on the trail, but one definitely stood out. It was a thick MILF with large tits wearing only a sports bra and small shorts. She was probably in her 30s, and she literally looked like she came out the 1980s with her hair and makeup and whatnot. Oregon people things. Eventually, after reaching the top of the mountain, we decided we weren't going to build a house up there and decided to go back down. I ran down most of the way and eventually got tired and started walking. There's literally nobody around but a sea of trees for a good 20 minutes, but eventually I hear someone jogging behind me, and eventually they pass me. It's the MILF. Her breasts were so large that I could see her side boob from behind. I'm not an ass guy, but her ass was jiggling. I got instantly hard. Mind you, I was 15 days into no fap. As she passed, I literally started grabbing and rubbing my crotch like a monkey, basically. I can already hear the Reddit Foid saying, that's why we chose the bear, yikes, creep, but I understand this. I saw something that highly aroused me, but understand this. I saw something that highly aroused me, and I relieved a little bit of tension by grabbing my crotch. That was it. There was no malice involved. And besides, she didn't even see me do it. I'm not an N-word, so I wouldn't rape her. For the record, I hate being sexually aroused and turned on. I literally wish I was asexual. As I reached the bottom, she was stretching and shit, and I kind of just awkwardly sat at the end of the parking lot waiting for my brother and dad to come back down from the mountain. I didn't even jerk off after, and still did no fap for a while too. Mainly because I was staying at my grandparents' house, but even when I returned home, I still stayed on no fap. But last night, while laying in bed, I gave in, and it actually felt pretty good. But unfortunately, I also jerked off in the morning and it felt like shit for the rest of the day. I think if you go 20 something days and then bust once, it actually feels good. But if you bust again, you feel like shit. Yeah, that's what I was doing during my vacation away, lol. These voids should be our sex slaves in an ideal world, not flaunting their bodies for Chad to see. Should have raped her. Just save up a bit and go escort sell someplace it's legal, you sad sack. You will actually die soon at this rate. I'm seen as a predator because I am one. We are not the same. I just want to breed swarms of voids. I have an idea for an invention. We live in a gynocentric society, and I don't think that's changing anytime soon, unfortunately, where men can be arrested for harassment for daring to talk to a woman. I have an idea that can help this remedy for autists and sub-5 men. Women wearing a collar or wristwatch that displays a colour using a stoplight system. Green means that the man is welcome to talk to the woman, yellow means go away or talk about something else, and red means leave my presence or else you will be beaten up by Chad, pepper sprayed, arrested, or maybe all three. Women are passive before they aggress, so a passive way to reject a man's presence sounds like an idea that fits everyone. I know that this is imperfect, as green can turn to red in a split second, or she can forget to change it if you offend her, but the visual indicator is a warning could help guys avoid unsavory situations with women. Whereas before, autists or low social skilled men wouldn't know that they need to leave. Even if this was implemented, I wouldn't expect women to find me attractive, but I think it would be nice to not fear women every day because they can tell me to leave and that I offend them without going out of their way. What are your thoughts on this? What would the collar show if Chad and Normie were around her, though? That is the whole problem. Different rules for different mid-face ratios. I will use the special remote to set every void's collar to green. This, all girls know their vaginas are repulsive and misshapen things. Maybe instead of fooling around jerking it to manga, you should finally settle down and get an anthro woman sex doll. They're cheaper than humanoid ones and come in all shapes and sizes. I haven't had sex in 6 months and I'm losing my shit here. I can't get matches on dating apps. I'm so desperate I'm willing to fuck a fat bitch or a trailer trash. And I live in a conservative bootlicking city that loves to crack down on John soliciting prostitution, so getting a whore is not an option. In my late 20s, I don't know what to fucking do. Yes, I love when big tits get mogged by oversized tits. These tits are so fucking fantastic. Few years later, but I want to ironically thank that psycho Big Red for showing everyone that the true nature of most feminists. Yeah, man, I now recently, thanks to this movement, start appreciating the love of my father. Maybe he has some flaws, but yeah, at least I now quit that mama-supporting rhetoric. Mums are manipulators like any other women. Women want to invade men's spaces at all costs. Screw women. It is important to actively fight against females invading male-only spaces. I'm an incel, but I kind of thought like that when I was still somewhat of a libtard, I was losing my liberalism and going to cuckservatism. When I discovered the black pill, I saw what the Wikipedia said. I don't want to be an incel. I had hope voids were respectable. I finally had enough after the bear versus man debate. If voids think bears are safer than men, then let's show them what real dangerous men are. I lost all hope for voids because the black pill was real. Now I'm a proud misogynist. Voids made me like this. Therapy, aka emotional prostitute who pretends to care about you and regurgitates Google advice before putting you on dew pills. Women are authentic and the autistic guy isn't. Women with their fake asses and face. Sex dolls for the win. Women burp and fart too. Yeah, toilets are stinky and disgusting. Same bro, we don't need women. They're short dogs and killing men with false statements. Well, if you don't want relationships, that's fine and understandable in today's society. But I would love to have sex, friends with benefits, or something along the lines of that. Just have a roster of women willing to give you pussy whenever you feel like accessing it. Unfortunately, I'm part of the percentage that's called bottom of the barrel, so I don't have the privilege of doing so. My dream is for my desire for women to die. You have to get them drunk first. I remember doing warm-up doing warm-up approaches and kept saying, I think you're really, 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 really trying to think of something clever to say, and the Mayo whore screamed very loudly to stop, and she didn't want to hear it. Crazy how men are just expected to put up with boys treating them like subhuman as part of the approach process. I froth at the amount at the mouth at the idea that she net up with some Wade Wilson type would fap to the greyed out body. And this is why it's best to cold approach as if you're doing it for a prank or a social experiment, YouTube video or a live stream or something. Rejections sting less if it's just a prank, huh? At least that's what I theorize. You have to do something to make light of this clown-ass situation. No, she was a full-grown 25-year-old woman. Embarrassing, but I guess toilets are forever stuck in infant mentality. The only way to cold approach is to work nights at the morgue. Just pay her money before you give her the cash. Ask for a blowjob. If she refuses, rape her and then slit her throat and shove the coins in her slit throat. I wanted to ask this subhuman for sex and she rejected me. I said to her, come to my home and tell me who your boyfriend is and tell me about him. She obviously knows I want to fuck. She said she had classes, then afterwards she has study and can't come. I tried to fuck and come in her pussy for once and she rejected me. In middle school, a Shiboon told me she would take my bully into the girls' bathroom and have sex with him, so I spread rumours about her being a slut. She wasn't fat, she was pretty cute for a black girl, but she wasn't active enough to catch me. I didn't literally tell the whole school, I told a few acquaintances, and they told some of her friends, and yeah, lol. I also lied and said that she wanted to have sex with me as well, and that I rejected her because she stinks like ass. Sometimes I wish my country would revert back to a traditional society, just so femoids would be shamed for dressing and acting slutty, and amazingly enough, not for any other reason, despite my frequent soul-searching. There were many toxic aspects of normalized throughout the past century which have brought great detriment amongst the general population, but many of them are at least somewhat tolerable to live with, no matter how irritating they may be, but not this specific negative cultural shift. Being an incel in a nature where promiscuity is wrapped up in a package as empowerment for the opposite gender to consume is nothing less than living hell. Every time you attempt to social max or escape your LDAR habits, you'll eventually be forced to interact in situations where it's unavoidable to come across a girl who has more skin visible on her body than clothes, whether it be a tank top, bikini, short skirt, etc. The fact of the matter is that no matter how often these instances turn you on, you will never be able to do anything with them, because there is always someone more attractive than you and better at rizzing who has already beaten you to them. It's akin to being tempted to great promises and pleasures by demons in physical form, before finally they get a reality check from whatever turn down of choice is utilized by them. The truth is that none of this would have been emboldened if it wasn't for one specific movement, feminism. Going back 75 years, it was impossible to regularly dress like a whore in public without being universally shamed by the public, along with being ostracized by your family and friends to the point of negatively impacting your way of life. The reason being that in those days, people had the common sense to assume you either had a serious sex problem or were simply a degenerate prostitute. But slowly, after suffragette cuck rights gained momentum in the legal writings, feminist talking points became less about alleged rights and more about authority. It is because of this evolution that women have adapted the same dominance in sexual power as men had gatekept through many civilizations across thousands of years. Pornography, a major component in entertainment, has yielded countless male slaves to the growing number of sexual exhibitionists who utilize this form of media to take advantage of us in real-life predicaments. Before it became commonplace, women never had the chance to do this. They usually stayed at home and relied on the good grace of men to provide to them, not enough idle time to go out and enact. The only way to possibly end this systemic torture would be a collective hive mind of men rallying through various methods of conquest to subside this cultural poison with a more controlled, balanced one. One where they would be at mercy of all males who hold more authority over them in positions of power and sexual opportunities. Sure, there would be a lot of previous cucked societal norms that would inevitably return under this transformation, but until this phenomenon reoccurs to the point where enough lonely men say no to this pain inflicted upon us, such a case where women cease to tantalize our minds in public with their bodies is only a dream. Pepper spray foids. I feel physically ill when I see attractive foids. I want to vomit. No, I think I've posted this before recently, but I've noticed it's getting worse. I literally want to puke when I see an average or attractive foid. That's how much I fucking hate them. They make me feel sick. The hatred feels like maggots eating me from within. It's getting worse. Yeah, I hate foids too. I hate everyone in general, foids especially. I don't feel sympathy when I see a woman getting hurt. Whenever I see videos of women being randomly beaten or killed, I feel nothing. Whenever I hear about women in real life being beaten, I feel nothing. I know now that women are narcissistic sociopaths. I can see through their facade. Normies get so mad when someone doesn't defend women, it's pathetic. These women would never do anything for you, R-words. If you were stabbed to death by Chad, they'd touch themselves. It's absolutely pitiful and brainless behaviour to defend women. Anyone who sees women as poor individual victims is a fool. Worst of all, normies getting mad when someone has sex with women without consent. Normies are such pathetic cucks that they'll call for the deaths of any man who bypasses women's ridiculous standards. It's like their religion is getting the approval of females. I like seeing and hearing about foids getting attacked, raped and killed, especially if they're white. White foids are the worst foids, which is kind of fitting because they're the best looking foids. All white foids are nothing but whores, race traitors, leftists and gold diggers. All foids are horrible. Anyway, I think it's funny too. Exactly what they deserve for being parasites. That girl I punched in the head last year was white, as were all these foids I barged into the same year. I made sure I really fucking hurt them too, and I did. As much as I hate non-white foids, I always prefer to target the white ones because they're more valued and privileged by society. Yes, and they don't feel pain like we do. They feel good. It's explained in the must-read threads. It fucking sucks that my kinks are aligned with physically hurting foids, i.e. slapping, choking, cutting, but that's for Chad only, sadly. If it was Chad attacking them, they wouldn't mind, but if I ask a cunt where the restroom is, I'm a creep. I come every time I see a woman hurt. I would never help a foid that's getting hurt, beaten or raped. They spew about how they are strong and independent, don't need no man. I have no reason to help a foid out. I'm not going to risk my life for a foid that is later going to gossip about hating men that isn't a Chad and later getting pounded by said Chad. It's cucked to help foids in any capacity. Same and based. It's cucked unless they offer you sex. I wish women got tortured more. I've made it pretty clear that I think women getting raped is awesome and justified, but I want women to be tortured in other ways too. I'm craving to see a 4K Ultra HD video of a woman having her eyes stabbed out and then having the loose eye sockets stitched together. Like I said earlier, I love it when women get raped, but TBH, it's an overused form of violence against women. I want to see something creative. Like, tell me why I can't find a video of someone skinning a college girl alive. Is that really too much to ask for? Jesus fucking Christ, the complete clown world we live in. LMAO, imagine locking an STD-ridden hooker in the brazen bull. They enjoy being raped. This would be amazing, but it's not happening. Men are sedated. Yeah, a lot of men are huge cucks when it comes to violence against women. Men don't kill women often enough. You can find cartel videos of foids getting their limbs cut off on Best Gore. Raping women is not that big of a deal. I don't really take women seriously whenever they say they've been raped. Raping isn't that bad of a crime. I'm not encouraging the rape of women or saying it's necessarily good. I just don't think it's that big of a deal. People often tout that rape is the worst thing you can do to a woman, that it's even worse than murder. I don't see how this is the case though. I mean, virtually everyone wants sex. Most people on the planet find sex pleasurable and do this activity hundreds or even thousands of times in their lives. Yet I'm supposed to believe Unwanted sex is the most scarring thing that can happen to a woman. Raping women may not be a good thing, but it's still an act that women are biologically hardwired to enjoy. Women feel good when they get penetrated. Rape is literally pleasurable to them. How is raping women such a terrible thing if they enjoy it? It's not like regular assault where people don't enjoy the act. Nobody enjoys getting their kneecaps broken or having their teeth pulled, but most people do enjoy sex. Also, you'll never convince me that rape scars women for life when most women have rape fantasies. Most women want to be raped, well, at least by Chad. Most women want to be held down and rough fucked. Most women want to be arse fucked. Most women want to be spanked, slapped, choked, and have a whole bunch of other violent shit happen to them. Women quite literally enjoy violence. People who rape women are just giving women what they already want, so I don't buy that rape is deeply traumatizing to them. They just say they're broken or some shit like that for attention. Just to reiterate, I'm not saying raping women is good or that people should do it. I'm just saying it's more of a minor inconvenience than a serious traumatic event. Modern women deserve rape. Rape is good for society. Giving women sexual autonomy causes society to collapse, so I encourage it. I ain't raping grannies though, that's gross. We either kill them old voids or we send them all to the slums of Mumbai or some shit. Make them pay for supporting feminism back in the day. Raping voids is flattering them too much. Rape is bad if it isn't me doing it. I should be allowed to rape any void I see. If a woman is above 21 and is not married, she is 100% eligible for rape in my opinion. If she doesn't want to get raped, she should settle down with a nice guy who will defend her from the rapists. I think rape is good for society. To avoid being raped is as if someone gave me a free ice cream that wasn't my flavour. What's the difference that makes for an used up roastie whose pussy was already cream pied by multiple dicks in her life? It's pathetic how they cry about it like it's the worst crime in the world. Being an incel does way more damage than rape. Not condoning, but that's the truth. I've been jumped twice and punched a lot, so has the average man. Why is a woman getting free dick worse? This is exactly how it works in nature. If you don't want to be raped and ravaged by a foreign tribe, you settle down with a protector. Humans are the only animals that see rape as bad when it's only nature to rape. It's appalling how privileged most of us are, yet at the same time lack a basic human right. I was having a nice breakfast today after a really hard workout and barely eating anything the day before. That's what got me thinking, that that I was eating, commoners could only dream of it centuries, even decades ago. High quality meat, dairy, olives, etc. I eat that every day, while in olden times such meals were mostly only reserved for the rich and aristocracy. We have healthcare, we don't fight in wars, we have infinite access to food and water, shelter, daily showers, toothpaste, you name it, yet we can only dream of friendly human interaction, having friends who care about us and appreciate for who we are, a female partner who loves us and cuddles with us. That cannot even be called a human right because it's just part of being human. Everyone already has access to it, except we don't. Having friends and a wife is the most important thing for a human after food and water, and we don't have it, and no one cares about it. Progressive, open-minded society, my arse. The weather was really warm today for the first time in a long time. Sunny, people outside. I thought I hated the sun, but it was nice. I went outside to work out and it made me feel really good. But seeing pretty girls and happy young couples outside made me depressed again. I hate going outside because of that. Not that important. I haven't used toothpaste in years and my teeth are clean. And for showers, yeah, on that one we have it better, but there's nothing compared to the sex we're missing. No children, please, but a wife who fulfills all my physical needs, has unwavering loyalty to me and keeps her mouth shut would probably do the job. Has to be the right woman, not a fucking cunt. Voids are manipulative, cold and insidious. Sometimes they can be cruel and even have sadistic tendencies. You need to see them for what they really are. I'd get myself an autistic girlfriend and go for a modelling job if I was a Chad. Since she's a woman, she probably She probably already rejected a bunch of ugly short guys in the past. Why would she get what she wants from Chad afterwards? Embarrass and ruin her. What would you do if you were Epstein before he got shot? I've been thinking lately, if I was Epstein and had an island full of foids and I was holding the leash, exactly what would I do? I believe I would go the scientific route, divide them in groups, administer drugs to some, torture the others, see what group revealed what cock-starved nymphos they were, and how much my dick would look good to them once I was the only one around. I would just kill females and Jews and then make humans reproduce asexually. That would solve 99.9999% of problems of society. Killing all foids. I don't know, women have putrid pussy smell. Women are inherently satanic. Why was man kicked out of paradise? Because a woman got seduced by the devil and convinced Adam to disobey as well. There is no spiritual higher component in women. They're nothing more than their body count and don't have souls, which means they're inherently satanic. This is why they love everything that is vile and dark, like lies, drama, manipulation, etc., and even enjoy men dying and suffering. They are filled with Luciferian pride and vanity. I wouldn't call it pride exactly. It's infantile narcissism. They are toddlers. Yes, but they are also very aware of their beauty and its powers over men. That fuels the goddess complex and Luciferian vanity/pride. They use their beauty to feel superior to men whom they see as trash, since we men aren't attractive as women. Treat women for what they are, worthless pieces of satanic evil shit. If I were a high sexual market value pretty boy Chad, athletic and blessed with romantic options, all while being aware of the black pill and female nature, I wouldn't commit to anyone. Instead, I'd mirror their narcissistic, self-serving behavior. I'd dump them after every hookup, impregnate them, and flee to another country after reaching a certain number of conquests in my current location. That's what they deserve. Face the consequences of your stupid decisions, bitch. Forget about me being the lovely simp Chad husband that women fantasize about in Hollywood movies, discuss on their godforsaken slut forums, or write about on Wattpad. If I were genetically blessed and a Chad, I'd be the opposite. A cold-hearted, calculating pretty boy who adapted to the harsh realities of the modern dating market. I'd do everything to avoid becoming a victim of female hypergamy. I don't know what that is. Never commit and never become too emotionally invested. I'd see every woman I encounter on the street as nothing more than a piece of meat, because that's what they are. Deep down, that's how they want women to be seen. Even if they claim otherwise and complain about men objecting them, they'd still choose the narcissistic player who treats them like an object over the respectful, well-mannered man who sees them as a human being with a soul and a heart. We've all been lied to. As a young boy, you're conditioned to worship women, bow down to them, and the indoctrinated NPC factories such as school and college to turn you into a compliant servant to this gynocentric system. To keep you docile, you're fed lies, that women are capable of love, they're incapable of that they're loyal, innocent, and pure. But as you grow older and approach adulthood, you'll quickly realize the truth. Women are superficial creatures incapable of genuine love. But as they only pretend to love a man, not because they're truly attracted to them, but because they want to extract everything they can from him, his seed, resources, money, energy, and even his future. It infuriates me to see women in the comments of love songs gushing about their crushes and dreaming of growing old together. Yet, as soon as someone even slightly better comes along, the previous man is forgotten in an instant. Why? Because women are hardwired this way. They're disloyal by nature, always seeking to monkey branch to a bigger, better deal. They're primal, driven by emotion and instinct rather than rationality. In many ways, they're not truly human. They're more like animals acting on survival mechanisms. If God exists, I can't begin to understand why he made women like this way. To mock us, torment us, to make our lives miserable. Sometimes I genuinely find myself questioning whether this is all a bad dream. It truly feels that way. Are we even the same species as them? We act differently, think differently, and are fundamentally opposite to women in almost every way.
It's as if they are demons in human form, the very embodiment of evil. I am on a journey to understand this enigmatic creature called the female. This quest may very well transcend the human realm, leading me into depths of spirituality, demonology, and the teachings of various religions. But who are these women, truly? All I know is that they're not what we have been led to believe. Where do they originate? What spirit resides in them? And what is their ultimate purpose? These are the questions that haunt me, driving me to seek answers beyond the surface of what we might have been taught. Sin was brought into the world by women. Women are easily susceptible to demonic attacks and false ideologies. As you can see, women worship worldly things like astrology, witchcraft, tarot cards, and such. God told the men to keep their wives in line pretty much, and teach them to fear God. As we can see now, it's all backwards. This according to God, not me. I did not make this up. So if women do not agree, then they go against God's teaching. Women aren't as sentient and conscious as men. They don't have the same emotional depth. They don't think rationally, and their entire behavior is robotic and predictable. Their nature is inherently demonic, driven by lust, greed, and deception. The male sex is the proactive sex, the ones who are meant to be responsible for the advancements of humanity and improvement of things. The females are simply biological automatons that are meant to be used for reproductive means and nurturing. That's why there's far less variety and less instability in the female genes. They are more likely to be midwits. They are cattle, and they should be treated as such. I wouldn't engage in her more than necessary. She'd be a kitchen and fuck toy in my mind. I wouldn't get a girlfriend as I know it's fake. Would either just do nothing and farm sweet, sweet validation, or just pump and dump and ruin as many voids as possible. Same attitudes as towards me, though as far as I know, women don't like it when man treats them good. If I woke up as Chad tomorrow, I'd treat her like my other half with care and respect, but the final say would always be mine. There's got to be a patriarchy in the relationship, even if it's subtle. Obvious answer is to treat them like shit. They're psychopaths and are only drawn to you because your looks stimulate them. I don't know, sometimes Foyds like being abused and walked all over by Chad. Treat them mean, keep them keen. If I got angry and I hit her or beat on her too. If I got angry, I might hit her and beat on her too. Treat her kind because she's my girlfriend. However, if I catch her with other fuckers, I might show her some bruises. Treating a girl nicely is the absolute opposite of what you need to do. She will leave you instantly if you do that. There's a reason Foyds love when their boyfriend beats them. I would probably end up killing her. You have to treat toilets like disabled R-words. There's a common saying online that you have to treat women like children. I disagree. If a child says something stupid, you can correct them and they'll recognize they're wrong. This applies to boys more than girls. If a woman says something stupid and you correct her, she'll call you sexist and get angry. Women are incapable of admitting they're wrong on anything, so you have to treat them like actual R-words if you don't want to get in trouble. Femoid is doing something that will obviously have a negative consequence. Well, if you tell her it's not a good idea, she'll get offended. You just have to let her do the R-worded thing and then act surprised when it goes wrong. Femoid makes a stupid statement that's easily disproven. She'll call the evidence of it being wrong sexist. Again, the only way you'll avoid getting in trouble is by playing around and pretending the roastie is smart. I try to avoid women altogether, to be honest. No, you need to treat her like a dog. If she disobeys you, lock her in cages and beat her up. I'd rather put them in their place, pump and dump. Best to just ignore women. Whatever they say, they'll get offended, so fuck it. Yeah, Foyds never want to admit or be told they're wrong. Yet, Foyds are extremely narcissistic. They'll never admit they're wrong and will usually resort to attacks because they're too emotional and intellectually stunted to counter your argument. Feminazis should be sent to re-education camps. Feminism is the worst of the modern evils. It's pure evil, deprived, satanic movement. Sacrificing unborn babies to Satan and celebrating it. going straight against God's commands for women to be modest and obedient to men and not to teach, to be fruitful and multiply, not to whore around, not to cause others to stumble. How many men sin daily because of all the nude foids online? It's foids' sin and responsibility more than those of men, TBH. Most of our problems are caused by the feminists. Why do you think we have sub-replacement fertility and replacement migration? The feminists did that. They murdered our nations. They murdered us. They murdered our civilization. They're jealous. They're holding us back. Foids want him in jail. I want him, R. Kelly, Harvey Weinstein, and Roman Polanski pardoned because they did nothing immoral. Then live in a forest by yourself without men's help, whore. Every time I get older, the more I understand why men beat women. Every day I get older, the more I understand why men beat women. If there wasn't a market for rape and violence, it wouldn't exist. Clearly, women love it. It's especially laughable because it's not like women are more moral than men. Even the data shows this. In most relationship, violence is two-sided, and relationship where the violence is only one-sided, it's the woman 70% of the time beating the man, and he just takes it because he thinks men aren't supposed to beat women, but women feel entitled to punching men if they so want to. The only reason women aren't killing men the same rate men are killing women lies in the fact that men on average are bigger, and thus women can't hurt men in the same capacity as men can hurt women. But women will mask this as a sort of moral superiority. They're cowards, quite literally. It's the same with rape. Men rape women with more than women rape men. The reason? Not because women are morally superior to men, but because women don't find most men attractive to begin with, so they don't have no incentive to rape men. Not to mention men are physically more imposing, so they pretty much most often can't. But again, women will mask this as moral superiority when they're just weak bitches who don't even find most men attractive. Men who kill women are pushed to do it by women. Women should have their mouths sewn shut until it's time to suck incel cock. Women shouldn't be allowed to speak. They have no opinion or value to offer as their opinions and beliefs are largely based off mirroring the men around them. They're extremely shallow cunts with a profound lack of ability when it comes to actually thinking for themselves. Instead, the only use a women's have should be to suck cock. More specifically, incel cock. We deserve reparations for what women have done to us. In an ideal world, they would seek permission before speaking. Their vocal cords need to be cut. Women should have their vaginas sewed shut. You've had too much Chad dick, whore. We must sew your vagina shut. To make things better, while the operation happens, they should not go under anesthesia. They need to feel the pain and consequences of being a dirty bitch. They should also have their mouths sewed shut. That way they can't give blowjobs or talk at all. It's honestly a win-win, and I don't know why we haven't started doing this yet. Their vaginas should be filled with cement. That's even better, because now that I think about it, they would probably remove the sewing themselves after going without dick in their rotting, used-up pussies. They used to put them in chastity belts back in the day. Female genitalia mutilation should be legalized. Let's start a petition. And they should only have their vaginas unsealed once they get married. These nasty cunts need to be mutilated along with the rest of them. Nasty sluts deserve nothing but pain to feel the consequences of them waiting around their whole lives. They should be bound, gagged, and drowned if you asked me. Bitches are good for one damn thing, squeezing out kids and scrubbing the floors. That's their role, cunts. They're wired to be bred, not think. Handing them votes, jobs, or leadership is like letting a dog drive a truck. They're out there strutting like whores, chasing paychecks while the world chokes on their empty wombs. Giving these broads freedom just turned them into mouthy, useless fuckers. Men are the ones who kept shit from collapsing. They're built to grind, blood, sweat and balls hauling the load. Always were. Cities, wars, tech, men carved it out while the dames wiped snot and boiled stew. That's the deal, not debate. Chicks can't cut it. Too busy sobbing or nagging to lift a finger right. Toss a broad in a real job and she'll bleed it dry with her whining or fuck off to pop a kid. Men don't blink, they build. Every big score, steel law's power was men's work. Women's role, spreading their legs and don't burn the goddamn soup. Rip their rights to shreds, and we're golden. Cage these sluts where they belong. Kitchen, nursery, nowhere else. No say, no pay, just pump out babies or get out. It's not cruelty, it's the truth. Back when men ruled and women knew their place, shit worked. Dads paid, mums bred, and nobody cried about fair. Now we've got cunts acting entitled, turning men into spineless wrecks and kids into trash. Women's rights are a shit stain on the world. Wipe them out or we're done. Why is rape a big deal? Genuinely, a penis inside of you for 5 to 10 minutes is a big deal. How is this traumatic? Crying won't unrape you. Women should lose their rights because they won't fuck me. White men built the civilized world that Foids are currently enjoying, and what did the Foids do in return? They stabbed men in the back, rejecting good men, and chased Chad cock throughout their teens and 20s. Then they gaslighted and pissed me off. I couldn't even get one date in 33 years of this shit-ridden earth. I didn't get the sex that I'm entitled to. Now I support women's rights taken away. Roasties better pray underfucked men don't realise what you've done to them, because your easy, pampered lives would turn to shit. Men have the power, and we will take your rights away. Women fuck as many men as possible until they find the perfect fit for their holes. They'll fuck as many men possible until they find the right one that fills/stretches their holes perfectly and to their satisfaction, and if they don't stay single or use some oofy doofy for all of his resources through manipulation while still being on the cock carousel, cucking him on the side. Women will always go for bigger and better. I mean, just look at their sex toys. Some are like 2 feet long. It never began. Us sub-5 men with average/small dicks, we're fucked. All women are size queens, no exception. They laugh at small dicks while screeching body positivity. Happy Women's Month, Foids. Go fuck as many men as possible. Women basically just sample/use men until they find a guy with a big enough dick to satisfy them, and they ultimately choose him in the end. Love isn't real, it's just women chasing for the perfect cock, so teen love is a cope. More people need to jerk off to her. She needs the spiritual lusting to grow more. Women have first-hand experience of knowing that inside of them there's nothing of value. You can't rape the willing. I want to beat whores with hammers. This bitch ovulates the second she smells black penis. Are you allowed to just rip off her panties and put her in whatever position whenever you want when you're married, or do you still have to ask for consent? I would settle for this girl in spite of her hideous skin. How do I find women who are very poor or very desperate who are somewhat willing to film themselves doing porn for the first time, only because they will become homeless or their cat will die of cancer if they don't? It seems much hotter if they're genuinely reluctant and embarrassed. Ideally, I'd like to pay her at least a couple $1,000 for a few dozen hours of her doing some live streams for me. So far, my best idea is this. Go on subreddit like r/poverty finance and look for a post by a woman who can't afford her extremely expensive veterinarian bills and is thus unable to provide her cat with healthcare. If a recent post like this does not exist, regularly check that subreddit and others like it until you see a post similar to that. Message the women who made that post on Reddit. Use a throwaway account and a VPN. Figure out if she's ever sold porn or done any kind of sex work before. I'd come all over her face in return. Gross whore who only talks about men for money and ego. Many single women travellers are sex tourists, even to places like Australia. Young and old English and German women come here to fuck the locals of many races, and some get killed. Wait, she actually picked this freak off Tinder. So not only was she a sex tourist, she likes half-bred freaks. This looks like a mongrel made from a N-word and P-word. You can't go on Tinder for casual sex and then casually refuse sex. There will be consequences. Most of the people on Tinder can't handle rejection. I feel like anime gives me way too high standards, and I'm often disappointed by women's real looks and personality. Anime girls are quite literally manufactured to be perfect. The female Straw Hats, for example, are not only incredibly hot, but also have perfect personalities. Good luck finding any real women like them. Basically another reason to give up. Why try for women when you have anime girls? Who needs 3D when you have 2D? Anime women are made to be perfect. Real women can never meet that standard. Women are sexual objects. For an individual, I don't want to read that. For an individual standpoint, people always want to be more than they are. They align with their copes from reality. That's how people essentially structure their entire lives after. Copes can come in all kinds of forms. Science can be a cope, but usually science needs a fundamental interest in nature, and to find pleasure in it, you need to have a very strong logic and be highly intelligent. Humans are usually not. Humans are rather interested in dopamine activities, and dopamine fundamentally is an enzyme for creation of adrenaline. Humans always search for the kick. One of the fundamental kicks you can get as a human, though, and also the one that is logical, is sex. A fundamental need for every human. Sex is listed as the most pleasurable activity a human can have. More men alien themselves with drugs, video games, gambling and porn, though, the latter being virtual sex. And that virtual sex is primarily founded by women. If you look at pornography, the scenario is usually a white or grey room with a lot of light and a good-looking woman being in the centre of attention, and it's her private parts that are the most focused on. Women dominate the porn industry as the sole reason for its existence, and more women choose themselves to be part of this sexual society. Why? Because never before was it that easy for any one random woman to make that kind of money in such an easy way. Prostitution and hypersexualization of women are actually encouraged more so by women than men, despite that men have a higher sex drive than women. Obviously, it is this that gets women the centre of attention in the first place, and they want it. One might even go as far to say that hypersexualization and objectification of women is due to survival instincts. The world is getting harder and more expensive. Women choose the only and easiest way to get out by selling themselves, but there is nearly no indication for a majority of women to dislike this act of promiscuity. They love it. And they also love to rub it in the faces of men who allowed this to happen. Yet women continue to laugh, and they will for a while, until men are either dead or the bubble bursts from a market oversaturation. As more and more young girls, the first act of becoming 18 is to set up an OnlyFans account. But TBH, while women are in fact the primary cause for their own sexual objectification, men are often participating in modern dating market as a sexual object. I don't know what that means. Ultimately, nature intends for females to produce offspring. All the other things, the copes in your life, are irrelevant. Only politics and our modern society intends and gives you the opportunity to be a lawyer or study psychology or the other ridiculous things to set a woman up just being a sexual object. But at the end of the day, you are one and always will be one, so stop complaining and suck my virgin dick. What I've realised about sexuality. Women are the enemy. Women are sociopathic parasites. Women's sexual appeal are chains to keep you under their control, a system of protection women have to protect themselves from consequences. Sexuality is a prison designed to make you a woman protector. If all men were neutered, I truly believe the rate of women getting beaten or killed would go up. More men would awaken to how insufferable women are. Society encourages sexuality because sexuality and sexual attraction to women is women worship. Nature is inherently women worship. Think past your penis tingles and you'll stop feeling sympathy for the female parasite. I wish. Degenerate whore. My ass. In the end, she is just a Chad-only cum slut. Also, what the fuck is type B personality? I would rather get head from beautiful blonde white women. My new sex doll unboxing, featuring my mum. After 7 months of wage saving and waiting, I finally have my new sex doll to cope with never getting any pussy, and here it is. Mods pin this video. If anything, misogyny is not nearly extreme enough. Too many conservative, pseudo-black-pilled women sympathisers who won't go full Taliban on women, which is the only viable solution for the male gender. May the number of men who have become aware of the true nature of women increase 100-fold. Misogyny is based and completely justified. It's no surprise it's rising when Foids act how they do. Women should enjoy sex. Women should initiate sex. Women don't need foreplay. Women don't need to orgasm. Women never have high libidos. It's just manipulation. Feminism has always been about excluding men. I'll never understand why anyone would be any % a feminist. Don't even call yourself a half feminist. Feminism should have died when they got the right to vote and work. Feminism right now means men are the oppressor and women are the oppressed. It's victim mentality. Feminists don't want equality, aka accountability. They want to blame men. She looks fuckable.
Most of these little hoes are having a train ran on them by choice, by Hector or Tyrone when they're far younger than 16. Redditor F word. Oh my god, but she lacks the maturity and agency to choose. Normal masculine man. Sure, whatever you say, cuck. All women are whores since they're 12. I've always found it stupidly funny how some people think that the age of consent means shit when little Stacey is sucking cock before learning math. And I've seen it when I was in school. And no, I don't like little girls only. I like older women with huge breasts. But age of consent has to be the most cucked shit in today's society. 16. Most voids start at 14 these days. Slutty ass voids, but then age cuts to blaming the guy even though she wanted to fuck in the first place. Voids have so much penis envy that even when they have everything handed to them on a silver platter, they are still jealous of men. And I couldn't be happier when I hear about a woman getting assaulted. I couldn't be happier that voids have feet for me to forcibly lick. Only R words believe that voids are more intelligent than men. They are literally doing good in all life because it's easier for them. Voids live life on tutorial mode, so it's difficult to fail at that. And yet, still, a lot of them fail. All of this rambling, and yet I can't think of any women who has created a giant trillion-dollar company from bottom up or a tech innovation that revolutionized our lives, i.e. microchips, the internet, software, modern petrol engines, search engines, all the apps they ever fucking use. Voids can keep coping all they want, but at the end of the day, it's still very much a man's world. I never cared for these radfem R words. This is why we need incel socialism. Women are so R-worded that there is a continuous spoon-feeding for them in college and university to show how diverse they are. Voids have never led a tribe in history. What makes them think they'll be able to lead the current, more unpredictably bad one? The governments in most countries bend over backwards to give voids unlimited rights. What would a void do in a crisis if she was on her stupid period? Oh no, President Woman, Your Highness, there's a plane with innocents on board aiming at one of our big business buildings. The void will act irrational and pissed off because this so-called period. She'll say, let's blow up the aeroplane, which would be so R-worded. You would kill the innocent passengers on board and the debris would fall down and do a lot of damage. That's only one example of many and is one of the reasons why they shouldn't be leading anything. Cucks can go sieve with Soylent in their mouths. If I ever hear that shit, a void's death is never a tragedy. If I ever hear that shit, I instantly stop listening. I want Today, I didn't help a toilet when she needed it. There was this toilet on the bus who, when she went to swipe her ticket card in the reader, she dropped it and couldn't reach it. As I was the person closest to the ticket, everyone expected me to pick it up and give it to the toilet as a blue-pilled simp cuck would have done, but I didn't do anything. I just stood there, stoic as always. Eventually, a Floyd picked it up and handed it to the toilet. Feels good, man. Why couldn't the dumb bitch pick it up herself? Pregnancy is a contraceptive. I will never view women as equals. Women are less than flies. Women are less than dirt. I'm not going to pretend as if they're equal or even near my level for female validation, like some dumb, worthless, dick-headed simp. Same, I can't just ever bring myself to see them as anything other than walking fleshlights. They're also meant to create sandwiches and tingly feelings in my penis. Women are meant only for recreational purpose. Toxic chads would rather good mid-girls than toxic STD-ridden whores, and knock-on effects means no holes for us. They just lie. Seen them admit to it. Ugly guy approaches them and they think of a quick excuse. Oh, sorry, I have a boyfriend. Floyds always have dudes on the side just waiting on their name to be called. Floyds aren't empathetic at all. I'm not sure which R word first said that women are the empathetic gender, likely some Floyd-worshipping cuck, but for some reason this has been engraved in society. Many normies agree that Floyds are the empathetic gender. It's beyond ridiculous. Floyds have little to no empathy or sympathy they may have for some chad, and other Floyds... Floyds have little to no empathy or sympathy they may have for some chad and other Floyds, but they have zero for sub-5 men. Sure, they'll virtue signal and pretend they do, but ultimately they fucking don't. Floyds are narcissistic sociopaths. Any instant of them feeling empathy is just to manipulate a situation, since they are disingenuous scum. If females are empathetic, why isn't a Floyd sucking my dick right now? Floyds who get groomed aren't victims. Young Floyds are sadistic whores and aren't victims at all. They will lead on men older than them when that shit backfires, they play victim. The amount of normies who think these Floyds are victims who didn't know what they were doing is beyond ridiculous. Teen femoids are callous fucking cunts. Normies throw around the word groomed to make the Floyd be viewed as a victim instead of holding her accountable. But unfortunately, it's 2025 and we live in a gynocentric society where Floyds are never held accountable. I mainly blame Floyds, but of course simps are highly responsible too, as in most cases. So if the woman chooses the old man, she can just revoke the consent she gave and call it rape. I knew a Floyd at 14 who was in a relationship with a 30-year-old. They are not traumatized at all. They enjoy it. Floyds start fucking early as well. There's nothing innocent about them. They are the most morally reprehensible creatures. They know what they're doing. They know society will ultimately take their side if they just sit there and play dumb. I have no empathy for Floyds who get groomed. They kind of want to be in the first place, to satisfy their own fantasies. This user is a registered sex offender. These vile creatures manipulate the masses with fake victimhood. It goes both ways. It's only rape if the femoid or guy is ugly. At least that's how I'm seeing it. I would have loved to gotten molested by Sadie Sink or Selena Gomez in her prime, but if it was a fat subhuman Floyd, I would have told her to stop. So in comparison, I'm pretty sure Floyd would have liked being raped by a chad like Brad Pitt or some pretty boy twink F-word like Timothée Chalamet. But if it's me, an orgy cell doing that, they would call it rape. Agreed. It makes my blood boil seeing chads humble brag about Stacey's riding their dicks during parties. It wasn't consensual, and if I got an Xbox for free, I would be glad and not care about the consent. Voids are just defectus humans whose only purpose is to procreate and give men pleasure. Aristotle himself describes voids as defective men with inferior rationale and moral capabilities than those of men. I agree with Aristotle that voids are irrational and immoral, but they are not defective men. Voids can't be men, they're just defective humanoids. Freud's biological purpose is to reproduce and give sex to men. That's why rape should be legal, because rape is a part of nature. Giving rights to Freud was a fucking mistake of society. When you give Freud rights, you go against nature. Freud's don't deserve any rights. They need to be slaves and servants, and Freud's who whore around definitely deserve to be raped. Freud's are not smart, they are not capable of doing anything without the help of men. Freud's haven't invented anything. All the cases of Freud you see about them inventing something is just feminist propaganda promoted by something. So you think Freud's are smart. Freud's are just useless for society. The economy has also been ruined because they allowed Freud's to work. And what do they work as? They work doing more trouble at jobs so they can make more money and fuck up lonely men economically. In an ideal society, Freud should be taught to clean the house and forced to be quiet from a young age. If they disobey, their fathers should be allowed to hit them and discipline them, so Freud's can follow their nature. Once Freud's grow up to be adults, their families can sell them for sex or marry them to incels like us, and maybe chads if they behave well to deserve a chad, but most Freud's need to be married to incels. The Freud's who are whores deserve to be raped and never be given a home. That's the only way we can keep a society functioning. Walking fleshlights who are nothing of value. Fuck Freud's feelings, I'd enjoy raping a Freud. AI sex chat, advertisement on 4chan. There's literally nothing wrong with being a grown man and wanting to marry and breed a teen virgin woman. Fuck some real cunt. Sure, but she is slower and less effective than a man, but she still gets paid the same. Here's the first 10... Oh, I hope a log crushes this smug cunt. It's fake. Women can only be sex objects. All the tits and ass get in the way. Holy fuck, are there any women who aren't shameless whores? Attention whore. Women are R-worded. Not with these fingernails. See, I've dated a lot of these girls, the so-called blue collar. It's all LARP for attention because it's mostly dominated by men. They get easy life and treatment compared to a retail/office job. In the blue collar job, there's always a guy or more doing most of the job or acting as the reference, answering or guiding them in everything they do. And mostly they operate machines anyway. There are very few real blue-collar girls I met, not dated, but trust me, they are not the kind of person you would call a girl anyway. She does no work. She at best rides around while some guy does the work and she sucks cock. She's doing less than 50% of the work her job is supposed to do, while the men she works with pick up the slack. Many such cases. Women are so weak they have to work by doing everything by the book, which is eventually a smart solution. Like you said, women distract men away from their job, which in certain situations like the military can cost lives. Guys would stop to help a slower, easily panicked woman, often using their bodies to shield them from harm. Now, without the woman in the situation, they'd orderly reposition themselves. Women have roles in the military, such as hospitals, but they're absolutely useless in combat. Hell, their presence is a danger to all. Is it possible for a woman not to attention whore like a cheap skank for 2 freaking minutes? I have taught women how to use chainsaws before. I have not been able to teach them how to do the same work manually with splitters and mauls though. Most are not even strong enough to lift rounds of wood into position to be split. There is seriously something wrong with these women seeking attention on social media. They are completely ruining anything of respect they manage to accomplish by not showing their ass, cunts, or tits. Insufferable. Good morning, I hate women. I am an animal for work and work with a lady, and I can say she's full of lies. Nice tits, bitch. Bullshit, that's a skank. Code for sucking cock. I hate these kinds of women so much it's unreal. Imagine all the time spent on filming, editing, and uploading this video just to say you're a whore. Imagine her stroking your dick that way. But in all seriousness, why was there no video of her cutting trees? Women cannot operate heavy machinery. They can barely operate cars. Why are women so good at frustrating men? She is making me feel things I've never felt before. She can work on my wood. Aside from the natural distraction from men, what I realised after starting having a job for about 2 years now is that women are 90% of the times the reason that drama is created and the reason men have bad relations with each other. I can imagine that men were much more focused, effective, happy, and good friends with each other before females entered the workforce. Not only that, they also have managerial positions, and men are expected to play along. As a result, many men just prefer to stay out of this madness, and that's why society has already collapsed. She looks like a whore, so I assume she is whoring, and this is a fetish video. I think I've finally reached the stage where I just hate women. I'm sick of seeing women LARP online as hard workers. Just as good as a man. You go girl boss bullshit. You know they fucking lowered the bar to become a Green Beret, and I still don't think a woman was able to make it through SFAS. Yeah, it's fair to say women are entitled whores. Hot nurses are a sex fantasy. All nurses, especially middle-aged, are fat as fuck or skinny as fuck. Nurses are horrible people to be around too. Had a job once. I was in charge of a small crew and my boss hired a 20-year-old girl. I used her properly, but I avoided giving her heavy manual work and instead sent her on machinery. After 2 weeks or so, my boss called me and asked me to treat her as one of the boys for 2 reasons. Number 1, she's getting paid the same. Number 2, she can handle it. So I stopped considering her gender in how I dispatched the workload. And my boss was right. He hired a tomboy and he knew it. The girl was far more hard-working than most men on the crew. Woman, dude. Why does she feel the need to show us her bra? I honestly don't see how women do this shit online and then act like they aren't a step down from a stripper. True, they just want attention, and showing off their bodies is the only way to get it. Otherwise, men would have no use for them, and they know it. All the focus on her tiny tits and not her big round ass. Sad. Voids are not humans. All the voids, they're bitches, are not human. They are cruel creatures. They can't ever be sane or happy for that matter. They don't... All voids are oppressors, as Eliot said in the last words of his book. Half of the voids should be starved to death, while the other half should be put in camps as just whores, as just... I fucking hate voids. I fucking hate voids. We should all torture them and throw them 50% in a shredder and 50% in a burning shredder. They are so stupid and so vulgar. They are an insult to the male gender and my existence. Nobody can hate that shit more than me. Especially the short ones, fucking manlet factories. I fucking hate voids with a passion. Do you ever just look at a void and sigh, hoping one day, oh, I hope this bitch dies? Well, look no further. Introducing the gun. Just get a gun license and a handy steady Glock and you'll be sorted. One shot to that fucking void's head and pow, no more void. Hope this helps. One shot is too quick. I'd rather savour their pain. I hate that even my mum has a higher sexual market value. I think everyone can relate. Any females have a higher sexual market value, and that's a no-brainer. Even blue pillers would agree, even though I heard the opposite from a lot of them. But it's high rocket amount. It's insane how the gender pill is the most brutal pill, just the simplest thing in your genetics that it could almost be, and yet makes all the difference. And it was a 50% shot also, so a 50% that we would live a life in easy mode. Higher sexual market value just off being a Freud. Women are child factories. Darwinistic perspective. Women's humanity has been questioned countless times. In this analysis, I will analyze it from a purely Darwinistic perspective. From Darwinistic standpoint, evolution is adaptation for the sake of survival and reproduction. As we are examining everything from non-spiritual, metaphysical perspective, women don't possess any superior physical qualities. Brain can be considered a physical quality, as in the earlier times it was used for survival, and along with muscles received environmental adaptation. Environmental adaptation placed of femoid race was minimal throughout the whole history. Therefore, femoid race wasn't placed either with muscular stress along with mental stress. Women often claim that lack of female scientists, contributors, etc., can be explained by systematic oppression of women and female education. Little do they know such statement only confirms thesis about lack of mental physical strain placed. Considering cost benefits of superior male race, giving their historical biggest enemies, women's rights such exchange will only cause negative impact on society, as femoids are counterproductive to society in general. Idea of such exchange, however, can be explained by the leftist tendency to equate everything. For leftoid, it is either unfair men having power over women, either person starting business and succeeding, because both acts are done as expression of individual power, which collectivists are fighting to suppress. Men are more clingier than women, especially those who are average. Women are more emotionless. Freud's only show positive emotion like kindness and empathy when it benefits them in some way, and even those emotions aren't genuine. It's all in an attempt to manipulate. It's a vital reason why men need to be immediately blackpilled so they can see through these demonic whores and not fall for their bullshit. Correct, women operate on emotions. Women operate on emotions was always a myth. This is just an excuse for their demonic behavior. Freud's operate on their ego. N-words on this site talk about murdering Freud's, then the next post they'll be crying their little asses off wishing they had one to hug. That tells you everything you need to know. Ugly Freud's are more disrespectful to men. I noticed that ugly Freud's in general are always rude and disrespectful to men, even when the men are totally out of their league. Ugly Freud's in general just think way too high of themselves and treat men like shit. Some even believe men would seriously want to rape them. Bitter Chad widows. Hit her with a left jab to make her go right, then hit her with a hard right hook, using the power of your hips and legs to swing and knock her ugly ass out. Be disrespectful to them. Incels need to start treating ugly Freud's the same way we're treated. I'm ugly and I'm bad towards all Freud's, disrespectful and violent. Why should I worry about them being trafficked? Do they care when men are sold in wars for organs? Boo-hoo, poor hooker slut was trafficked. I remember this video of this guy offering to pay a hooker to clean his house, but she refused. These whore sluts are nasty sex addicts and getting paid is a bonus for them. Why seek legitimate employment when you can get paid to have your nasty skank AIDS-infested skank hole ravaged? They really don't want us to have sex. We just can't win. That's why left people, feminists, and women in general are so fucking stupid. The hypocrisy is huge. Freud's just want to be victims so bad. They care about an empowered woman that has sex for money, but they don't care about a sub-5 who is unlucky in life and hate him just for existing. Unfortunately for them, most men are stronger than a woman. All it would take is for a woman to shit-talk the wrong ugly man one day, and he will lash out at her in the worst way. The last thing a Freud wants is an ugly man slobbering all over her and humping her, cream pieing her whole, and giving her a subhuman child, or if not that, then leaving her to bleed out from a gunshot or stab wounds on the sidewalk. Nonetheless, a Foyd having to fuck an ugly man is the worst possible event that could happen to them. Even speaking from a biological perspective, because of the faulty genes, an egg is far more valuable than sperm. Ugly Foyds are the worst out of all kinds of Foyds. Even though they're my looks match, they still don't want me and think they deserve better. I used to chat with this Foyd online. She was older, fat, and had awful acne, but when I face revealed, she slowly stopped talking to me as if she wasn't the chop lord herself. I kind of made it worse for myself because I started begging her to keep talking to me, which probably wasn't the best idea. She just said she was above me with new friends in real life, so she didn't need to talk to me. I wish she stayed and didn't get IRL friends to replace me. Next time I'll beg more. Yeah, they're bigger bitches somehow. Foyds not being able to be honest with ugly Foyds makes them too confident. Don't continue to be embarrassed and rejected by women, just let it go. It's over. You're right, but one day I really want to feel a real Foyd pussy. You never will. Change profile pic. You are a woman bootlicking simp. In contrast to Prophet Roger, you are an insignificant garbage. You're right, I shouldn't stain his godly image. I'm sorry. Why do you want to get stabbed to death by a Foyd? So that she feels guilty later and stabs herself. There are plenty of other ways you can make a Foyd feel guilty without having her harm you to that great of an extent. Manipulation, gaslighting, pity maxing. I just want to fuck a bitch in the pussy, I ain't gonna lie. A Foyd once called me creepy because I know her name. Once I was around a disgusting looking Foyd working on a group project and she asked me if I knew her name. I told her that I know it and then she said to one of her friends, "That's creepy." It just makes me angry that these ugly looking whores think so highly of themselves. They overestimate how rapeable they are. Have you ever stalked a Foyd before? I've stalked one Foyd in my life and it was in high school. It was some goth Foyd who rejected me. I knew her 4th hour was banned, so I followed her every day from her 4th hour to her 5th hour and to her 6th hour. From there, I followed her car home. I didn't do anything. I just camped out her house in my car. It was thrilling stalking a Foyd. It felt like I was hunting. One day I saw her walking her dog with her Chad boyfriend, so I had the funny idea of walking by and bumping into her shoulder aggressively just to piss him off. I did this and she started screaming when she saw my face. I ran away and never followed her home again. Later in the year, her boyfriend tried to attack me, but I carry a knife on me all the time, so I just brandished it and he backed away. Yep, I used to throw rocks into her house and scream. Not really, but I got hit with a restraining order for threatening a Foyd. I'd rape her and slap her while I come in her, then we'll see who's boss. When she turns into a grown, mature woman,